Let's do this how Kyle does it. Welcome to Saturday Night Modern Comic Mayhem, the best show on the Flipside YouTube channel. Tonight we've got Disney Talk, we have got Disney Talk, and we have got Disney Talk. Cue the music. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Modern Comic Mayhem Saturday night. Kyle's running late and Sam's running late, but we've got the crew here with us. We've got Ish and Richie. What's going on, guys? How you been? What's the week been like for you?
Oh,
Ish.
Richie's on mute. I had a good week. I finally got to see Dune and actually Black Widow, which I watched last night. So I was kind of a little late to the party on that.
What's your take?
I like Dune. Dune was exactly what I thought it would be. No big surprises, but it's a very, very impressive film. And I'm really excited to see part 2. So if you guys haven't seen Dune yet, I recommend seeing it in theaters. It's a big experience, big picture, big sound. It's really good stuff. And then I saw Black Widow, which was it was all right. Wasn't as bad as a lot of people said it was. Definitely the whole Taskmaster thing is definitely disappointing. That could have been a cool, like, recurring second tier villain. So I don't know. We'll see if they ever do anything with that character again. What I kind of did like, especially the ending with the villain's lair in the clouds falling apart and they're all escaping. It had a very like 90s James Bond feel to it. And so I kind of had a little fun watching that part.
Ooh. So yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think it was fun to watch. It was very interesting. The Elena Belova is the key of it all, right? She was the best part of that movie. And everything that we're learning now, we're getting closer and closer to that whole Dark Avengers Thunderbolts team that we're all, I know a lot of us got hook, line, and sinker for a couple images that came out, and we'll get into that too. There was a bunch of cheesy fakes that were flowing all week or all last couple nights. So we'll get into that. Richie, what about you, brother? How you been?
Good. Just living the life. Got to see Shang-Chi last night after we did the Hot 10.
Nice.
And I liked it the first half. I thought it was cool, and then the second half, I was actually really disappointed. As I was telling you guys backstage, I just didn't really dig the. I don't want to spoil it, but the whole.
Oh, we're beyond spoilers on that.
Yeah, we're beyond spoilers, bro.
Okay, all right. Well, I just didn't like the whole wannabe Game of Thrones parody with the Great Protector or whatever their dragon was. I just thought it just looked. It was cool in a sense, but it I don't know, it went too long and it was just too fake. And then on top of that, like, the Mandarin's like a serious villain, and I just thought they completely trashed that. I think they fucking dropped the ball on that. And is he dead already? Was he a one and done?
Mandarin?
Yeah, because I didn't.
Well, I think the sister now is Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She takes on the mantle. But Wenwu, I guess, dies in the movie. Spoiler alert.
I am wondering about the sister. There's so many people. There's no confirmation of who she actually is in the comics. I mean, a lot of people are saying certain things, certain issues. I mean, she reminds me more of the modern Shang-Chi that just came out this last few months. A sister, I forgot her name. She came out in the same episode as Sister Dagger, and it looks like her, same kind of like weapons technique. So yeah, I mean, there are some interesting books to hunt for the next Shang-Chi movies, and we can get into that later. But pleasantly disappointed, had fun last night in the Hot 10, and I'm glad to see Kyle. How are you?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, worn out.
Yeah, long day.
Yeah, but good. And now I'm here to have fun.
Hell yeah. He's got his White Claw in hand.
Yeah. Right on.
So, all right. we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I think that we probably ought to get in. Do you guys got any pickups? Anybody got any pickups?
I got a couple.
Let's get in some pickups. I'm gonna go grab my pickups while you take over.
All right. I didn't even open them. I figured I would do a live break.
There you go.
Nothing crazy, but it's me drinking on the show about stuff we talked about.
It would be crazy if you stabbed yourself right now, live on air.
Oh, dude, I got the worst story about that. I was about 11. I was 11 years old. I was watching the football. It was just right before Christmas, maybe like 3 days. My dad sent me a package. I was living with my mom then. I was 10 or 11 years old. And I was so excited. I knew they were going to be wrapped inside. I went and got that freaking cutter, and I cut it like this, and it stopped. And it just sliced my whole leg open. I had to get stitches. I still got a nice scar there, too.
That's still not as bad as cutting yourself from too many White Claws.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
You don't want any of that sloppy White Claw cutting.
So the first one is what we were talking about on Halloween.
Ah, you got it.
So I picked one up.
Good for you. Love it.
Such a cool cover.
Yeah, totally.
And then
Mojo's offended that you did the horns while drinking White Claw.
That's
he might be not wrong.
Dude, that's how metal I am. I'm just
Hey, I'm the one wearing the deep purple shirt.
I should have opened these earlier.
Kyle, are you sober right now?
Yeah.
I like sober Kyle. I mean,
Well,
I like drunk Kyle too, but I mean, good vibes.
Your mom has a request. She wants you to flip the collar on your polo.
Dude, I know I'm all dressed up all snazzy too. Here, I'll do it as it's like the slowest unboxing ever.
This is torture.
So the other one was what we were talking about.
Oh.
Yes.
Orgasm. Is that the variant?
Is
that that's the number one variant, or is that what issue is that?
I'm pretty sure it's a variant.
It's number
Issue
2.
2.
Yeah, it's issue 2. So I got that.
That's heavy metal right there.
That's cool.
Yes, I just shot it. I just shot 19 holes. Yeah. So yep, those were my 2 pickups for this week. So
that's sick on the ride. I love it. Now is it Herogasm 2? Does it have any first appearances in there? Like,
I can't remember what we were talking about, but anything that's got snort lines on the cover of a comic, it's
I just noticed that. Oh yeah, of course.
And while we're looking at that cover, shout out to the chat to Mrs. Horsecock Express.
That definitely deserves to come up. So, do you guys have any?
Yeah, I got not very impressive, but they did a Blue Beetle announcement. So I picked this up crazy cheap. I hope you guys can see it. So it's a kind of later 80s Blue Beetle #1, 8.0 white pages. It was like $15. So, once Blue Beetle comes out, we'll see, That was just kind of a random pickup. And the other one, I'm glad Brian's back because he'll appreciate this. Picked up the trade paperback for Red Room.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Antisocial Network.
Is it oversized? It looks like it's oversized. No?
No, it's standard.
Okay. Oh, I just didn't see the
bottom. But yeah, very cool. Excited to read it. That way I don't have to touch my floppies.
I don't care about your name.
Wait, that came out weird.
Yeah, why would I mute him? I unmuted everybody that's ever been muted on here just so I could get to make sure that Tony, was it Tony or Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, that Nick could to get through.
He was muted too, huh?
And we muted your
Nick
mom
wasn't
for a
muted.
while. Remember that?
That's why I couldn't figure it out.
That
That's
was
why
a big drama.
that's why I just said, screw it. I'm just gonna, because I couldn't figure out why Nick could. And you know what it turned out? I think it was because it had something to do. He had his accounts linked or something like that with his kids' account. So because we're not made for kids, like maybe he couldn't comment. Anyways, what'd you say, Ish? About what?
About not touching my floppies.
Oh yeah.
I'll show Brian. He didn't see.
Oh, you got Herogasm. Oh, you got the Punisher book. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
all right, so I'll go through mine. I got some cool stuff here. So not a lot of people know that Frank Frazetta did animal books back in the 40s. And these are 2 Frank Frazetta animal books. This is Barnyard Comics number 13. And I don't know what it is, but somebody was like using like a special hole punch, and you guys can see right there's like these weird hole punches.
Oh.
It's that kind that's like with the hand where you go like this and it pops out the top. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but it's got like a weird shape to them. You see, they look
That's
like,
for people who still remember pencils.
Yeah. So, but it's still cool. It's a 10-center Barnyard Comics number 13 Frazetta on interior. And then this is, I really like this one. This is Barnyard Comics number 14 from 1947, but nice little mushrooms on the bottom there. Right?
Nice.
Gotta love those nice little mushrooms. And a signature by whoever was practicing his cursive at the time. So, Barnyard Comics, Frank Frazetta.
How'd you find those, Brian?
They're on my eBay search list.
Nice.
I shouldn't give that shit up, right? That's one of the things that we always talk about. But you know, there are some other things that are not necessarily on my eBay search list, but they should be, that I pick up. Spider-Girl books.
Mm-hmm.
These books right here are gonna get hot. You watch. People are gonna fall in love with these covers. They have some of the best covers. I mean, most of us already know about this, like that you guys that are part of this community already know about this run of Spider-Girl and how great the covers are on it. But I'll pick these up out of dollar bins every day. You know what I mean? Josh G with the $4.99 super chat says, found 300 on the ground today. No big deal. Congrats.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. That's karma, brother. That is karma. Then I got, these are just all like, I love this X-Men cover. I love the original, and then I love the Adam Hughes one where he flips Wolverine and Rogue. And then of course this is the I forget what they did this month, a certain month they did like a Groot and Rocket variants or something like that, I think. And so this was one of the ones for X-Men 34. All right, let me put this one down here for a second. So I found some of these, and I think we talked about these last week too. The Supernaturals books. I didn't get the cool Capullo cover, but I didn't get number 1, but I got 2 number 4s. So
if that was women, you'd have an 8.
This one though is supposedly the first modern appearance of Groot.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought that was cool. I got 2 of those. All right. So you guys, and the reason why I'm bringing those Groot books up is because obviously we're going to get some Groot stuff, right? So be on the lookout for some of that baby Groot stuff. Josh G, $9.99, man. He's digging into that 300. Yep. I picked up some Moon Knight books. I got the Finch number 1, and then the Finch number 2. Love that run.
Yeah, I love that cover right there.
Yeah. This is cool. How about this one? It's not in the best condition, but let me take off the price tag here. Well, I'll take it off the best I can. It's not the one everybody's searching, but this is a New Mutants number 25 variant with magic, or like I like to call her, Magique. Everybody's searching that Strange Academy 13 that we talked about last night on the show, the Hot 10. But this is one I like. This is a tough one to find. New Mutants number 25.
What was
Art
the one
Adams.
Ben Stein was talking about yesterday? He's like, forget the.
There's so many good Magic variants, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I picked up this. This is kind of cool. This Nova book. You don't see this very often. The Venom Nova last issue.
Nice.
Nova number 7. I think this is like Nova volume 3,
I like the
maybe.
face that Nova's making.
Yeah, well, look how badass Venom looks. I think that's one of the
Yeah.
first times he started getting those badass eyes, right? Eric Larson cover. Who doesn't love Eric Larson Venom cover? And,
Just don't add pupils and it's fucked.
I picked up some totally awesome Hulk books just because of Cho. And then I like this one too, right? Isn't this like origin of something to do with Cho? Maybe like his mom or something. I don't know. I remember this was a big book for a while. Like not a big book. People were talking about this book back in the day. So this is totally awesome Hulk number 3. And yeah. These are something that is really cool that I don't know if people know a lot about, but I'm going to share. I've talked about it on here before. Let me put them in order here. 6. All right. So these are, so we're going to get a Midnight Suns something, right? They're bringing all these characters together in the same way. We're going to get it. So this is the Morbius, the Living Vampire series. And this, when you start seeing the numbers that look like that with that little circle or the issue numbers like that, you know that they're later in the run. For example, here are some Ghost Rider ones, right? And some of these were, when they get later in the run, they're during this time period at Marvel, they short printed a bunch of these. I mean, they didn't print as many of them, right? But this is Morbius 25, really badass cover, right? And then these, here's 26. You guys can see the circle and the look like that.
Nice.
27.
Oh, that's cool.
28. All right, these are great Morbius books that a lot of people don't know about. And here's 29.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then I showed you the Ghost Rider one. So here's later in the Ghost Rider run. Here's 54. And then 61. 61's a little damaged, but I still pick it up for $1. You know, I like how she's holding the skull. What up, Bill? How you doing?
Oh, it's a newsstand.
Yeah, newsstand. Yep.
Nice.
So really, really cool Ghost Rider covers. And then I got this cool Spider-Man variant.
Oh, I've got that one. I love that cover.
Yeah, really nice cover. And then I was throwing away old Geminis that were just totally tore up, or I was putting them in a pile to reuse. And I found this. I forgot to take it out of a Gemini. So the Perillo, is this Perillo, right?
I did the same thing on an ASM 265 Canadian price variant, and I fucking threw it away. Excuse my language. I freaking threw it away.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I almost threw this away, man. I was very close to...
and it was high grade, and I got it for $25 on Etsy because the guy didn't know it was Canadian price variant.
Well, so mad. The biggest thing that I did is I found these in a short box. I'm going through them. I'm trying to go through a bunch of short box I haven't gone through, and I found those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a big score right there.
Yeah. So these are, I have a 9.8 of this one, right? I have the 9.8 of this one signed by Capullo, and now I have 2 of each of these. This is my second set that I found, which is nice. It's always fun going through old stuff. I couldn't imagine like having a shop and being able to go through old Backstop all the time. That would be nice.
It's kind of fun.
When are you going to let us into that to that special room so we can go diving around like Scrooge McDuck in his treasure house?
Well, I
Anytime you
recently
want,
traded.
guys.
Say that again, Bill.
I'm sorry, I was just messing around, Bill. Go ahead.
I traded 20 long boxes recently. I've been buy a collection, go through it, pull out what I absolutely have to have in the wall, the box, case. Then it went in this pile, and then the next collection would come in and so forth. And then I'd go back and I'd say, well, I see some gaps in whatever, Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk. And I'd go digging through there and say, oh, cool. They've been sitting there for a year. They weren't hot then. They are now. Let's file them away. It's cool. And I mined those 20 boxes, I don't know, probably a year and a half. And, another shop here in town said, they needed some back stock. They had a big bronze key. Wanted to make a swap. So I did it. I kind of regret it now because I do love finding what you just were talking about, Ryan, that I forgot I had it, oh shit, look at that. That's cool. And when you have as many comics as I do, it happens pretty frequently.
Yeah, I imagine. That's why we all hear the stories of especially you guys who have been in the game for a while, who have these just they're like either storage lockers, garages, back rooms in the stores, or a theater that you happen to buy, or some crazy thing. You just got all this crazy stuff chilling around that you probably haven't gone through in ages, and that's the type of stuff that we all know. We just get giddy about when somebody says, I got a new collection, and hey, why don't you come down and take a look at my my backstock area.
The last time I was in the back of Fantastic talking to Bill, I think we were talking about Titans, and I'm just like, my eyes are like like scanning all the books everywhere, trying to like
take a mental note of all the. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get it organized. I mean, it's probably a futile goal, Istvan, but we're trying. We've got all those drawer boxes along the back wall. I don't know, there's 60, 70 long boxes. I want to get into the habit of buy a collection, work it. What I already have, these doubles or triples or whatever they are, put them in those drawer boxes. Keep it in order. So when I'm not there, and Istvan's slow, which I hate, but hopefully he's busy all the time. But if he's slow, bring your ass to the back room, and grab a box, bring it up to the front, and start finding what we need. Because there's stuff back there,
Yeah.
He was digging around the other day, and he just grabbed the box. He was slow, and he found like a big stack of Hulks that we didn't have in the front. So
wow. Nice.
There's coolness back there,
Well,
what a bummer. Hey, it's slow. Go dig through comics. Bummer, Bill. I guess.
Yeah, that's why we love what we do, right?
Yep.
Anytime you get to work with comics or talk comics, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And Bill, just earlier this week, you were working on a market report.
I was. It's that time of year, Overstreet. I don't know, since early 90s. So, 30 years. I've been doing an annual report, State of the Union, for Bob Overstreet and the publication. And so it's an exercise where they sent us a packet. And, there's a printout of the top 20, or I think it's 20, top 20 bronze, top 20 silver, top 20 gold, and age keys with last year's prices. And then it says, what do you think it ought to be? And then it has, 3 or I think it's 3, maybe 4 grades. And then you put your markups in there. And in the old days, which was like 5 years ago, you would, it was pretty much a standard multiple. If the book was, $100 in good, it was $300 in fine, $500 in VF. The multiples were, 1, 3, 5, 7. I mean, it was that way forever, so it didn't require a lot of thought. So sometimes I would just throw it away. But this year, as I was sitting back there, I was like, you know what? The spreads are not linear anymore. When you're dealing with Bronze Age or Silver Age or, God forbid, Golden Age comic books, the individual issue, you might have a whole swaths of them where it's still linear, still 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. But now you have to really think about it, because if you look at 129 and 181, two kind of twin books, they get hot, they're not hot, but they're always in demand. But the spreads are different on those two books. I wish I would have brought my cheat sheets home. Actually, I didn't think about it. But, I went through because I only picked out books. I didn't even deal with the Golden Age because even though I love Golden Age, I know a lot about it. I have not bought and sold a lot of it in the last few years. But I bought and sold a ton of Bronze Age, a ton of silver, a ton of copper. Every book 100 times, So I felt like I could speak with authority as I broke down, what Brave and the Bold 28 or Spider-Man #1 or Spider-Man 129 or 121. And you could write in too. They put the usual suspects. But there were some books that I've sold so many times this year, like Spider-Man 121, for instance, and last year. Nah, it's got to be on the list because it's something that, there's real demand for.
Do you, and this, I'm glad you brought this up because we were talking about this the other day, and we talk about it a lot on this channel. All of us in, the modern comic world that we live in, we talk about this at some point. And this could be a spicy topic, spicy question to ask. Do you think Overstreet is still relevant?
For 90% of the books in the world, it is the most relevant. Listen, Kyle, somebody brings you a box of comics and it's, mid-grade, mid-run, bronze and silver. Are you going to look on GPA for that shit? No, you're going to crack open your price guide. You're going to get the big, which I'm glad you put that picture up because I have it sitting right over there. The gigantic one, right? It's got the big print. It lays flat. You can lay it on the counter and have a stack of books next to it as you go through and grade each one. I bought a little box of Bronze Age from a guy today. A couple keys in there, nothing big. Spider-Woman 1, maybe She-Hulk 1, stuff like that. But good stuff. But, I'm going to use guide if he wants me to, price it out. Most of that shit I know in my head. How many times can I buy a She-Hulk #1? Seriously, come on. So, I've
so
1,000
made at that time. Yeah.
Well, so when we used to buy from John, he would use an old ass Overstreet and then do half of it. It was right, Brian.
Yep, he would do half of guide, and we all talk about those places where we would find those honey holes. They're very few and far between nowadays, especially now with how comic speculation has just blown up. But where you go into a place and you find those honey holes, and then the whoever you're buying from uses Overstreet, half of Overstreet, third of Overstreet, whatever, to sell books. That is your place.
It's a win. Yeah,
it's
there's
a win.
No loss.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But also being said, like you said, Bill, like 90% of the books that are out, it's very relevant because so many books. We talk about a lot of comics now, on this channel. We talk about a lot of comics that are available for resale, and these are what you want to be looking at to resell in the future. And it's a big part of our channel. But there are a ton of comics that we don't talk about. And my favorite thing, and I've talked about this many times, and you can find anytime you come across an Overstreet in my house, an old Overstreet, I buy them every year. You'll find them; they'll be highlighted up, right, and different color highlighters. And I still like to go through Overstreet and highlight. Okay, when it said creator first, this is his first cover. This is his first this, and I search those, man, and I get so excited when there's a new Overstreet just because I can
pricing
do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's very useful
enormous, resource of information. Bob has put 51 years, into that. So, it's extraordinary that he's still able to do it. I've been working with Bob now, for 30 years. It was a lot less high tech. We would meet in person, to do these kinds of things and have caucuses about grading and, what should a VG have in terms of defects, a VF have, what's the least amount, and then talk about pricing. Steve Jeppy, when he bought Bob Overstreet's collection, and he bought Bob's business, the Overstreet price guide.
Yeah.
He sent an invite to all of the Overstreet, the senior Overstreet advisors, people that have been with Bob for a long time, and said, hey, we're going to get together. I'm going to fly all you guys up to Maryland, up in Timonium where Diamond headquarters was. And we're going to meet, and we're going to have, he had structured it, like 3 days, all sorts of workshops. And, we spent the whole time working, having fun, talking comics, geeking out the whole bit too. But, we for 3 or 4 days, we really laid a foundation, we think, for the way, comics would be graded, priced for the next 20 years. It was remarkable to be in a room with that many guys, that have been in the hobby forever. And the shocking thing was he did a grading exercise. We all had the same stack, passed them around, wrote down your grades, and the disparity from these old timers. So these are the honey holes you should have been finding, where this guy's grading these VFs, like a fair. It's like, so I'll take it, sold, but it was fun. It was really exciting,
I like the other. I like the other books they do too. The poster collecting one is really I try to pick that one up whenever I can find it cheap, just because I love these old images. Finding these old images just to look at. The original images are really cool, and then of course all the different subsets, whether it's Star Wars collectibles, Batman collectibles. They're great places to find new things. I don't, like we were talking about, I don't use Overstreet anymore as much as to find a guide of price, but as that's out there. I didn't even know that was there,
right.
Especially with some of that.
You see that picture you have there? Go back to those pictures if you don't mind that you had up, because this reminds me of something. You see the one on the right where it had the Gold and Silver Age Quarterly, those little magazines that are in a stack. I remember, Bob reaching out to us and saying, is the market moving fast enough now that I should do something more than an annual guide? And of course, our answer was a resounding yes. And this is back in, I guess, 1994. If I look at those covers, we were like, absolutely. He's like, well, will you guys contribute, more than annually? Will you do it quarterly? And we said, sure. So if you pick up any one of those now, find it in a back issue bin somewhere, you will see articles and stories in there from me and from Matt Nelson, because, he and I were partners in those days, and as well as new pricing information coming out quarterly. So that was his attempt, short-lived, at trying to be more frequent with our updates.
Yeah. Peter Parker's Pants says, isn't the fact that the brand name Overstreet hasn't gone online a tragedy? What do you mean by that?
Like everybody,
they haven't created
that there's not an online presence of them.
Like an interactive cover price with analytics, and
just because the name Overstreet, it's kind of like having an Apple iPhone, or what I mean, something that's what you associate. It's
the Bible. It's the Bible of comic books, right? Yeah, they came out with some PDF versions that Heritage
I was just going to say
selling for a little while. They were handy. You'd have it on your phone.
You can control F and you can control F and find certain things.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having to change that date? Be the guy that has to continually influx that database.
Well, there's somebody doing it already.
I know, but that's true. You're right.
Yeah. One great use for the book. One great use is figuring out the different volumes of the title, and where certain issues line up, what year, what series, what run they were in. And then also, I guess, Bill, when do you think that Bob Overstreet or the crew kind of came up with the ages, delineating golden, silver? The book now even has platinum, starting in the 1500s.
Yeah. Well, no. The platinum age actually, Ishwan, started in 1933.
Okay. Oh, so the Victorian age is something even.
There you go. That's the older
prior
stuff.
to that.
Yeah, that's where you get the Obadiah Old Buck. Came out in the 19th century, 18th century, that kind of stuff, where they classify those sort of as comics. There was a huge debate for years about, when did comic books start? Let alone what age do we slice and dice? Okay. And this was raging on the CGC boards for a long time. It was like a thread called Obadiah Old Buck versus Superman. So if you guys are ever bored and you want to laugh until you pee your pants, go pull up that old thread and read it on the CGC boards, because me and this guy, Bob Bierbaum, went at it for months. And finally, he had to acquiesce. It's like, fuck that. Oh, sorry, freak that.
Oh, you can cut
That's
as much
not a
as you
comic
want
book.
here.
It's a precursor of a comic book. Okay, a comic book to me, it's what it looks like. It's Golden Age, 64 pages, saddle stitched. It's 4 colors. That's what it is. And so Platinum Age comic books, 1933 to May of 1938. So that encompasses, the funnies on parade, the cavalcade of comics, all that stuff. Those very first comic books, Skippy's own book of comics, and I collected that stuff. So I put together like a complete platinum, set of comics. The famous funnies, all of those as well. Golden Age started June 1938. Why is that, Kyle? Why would we delineate the start of the Golden Age as June 1938?
Action Comics.
You're right. Action Comics #1, Brian. That is exactly right. There was everything before Action 1, and then there was Action 1.
Yep.
And then superheroes started to explode.
There is a kind of a recent argument over the start of the Silver Age. I remember growing up, there was a point where they're like, okay, Silver Age is this book, and now you mentioned that book, and they're like, no, that's not Silver Age anymore, or it's Bronze Age or whatever.
Well,
so
it's, if you really want to know the truth, I mean, even we as Overstreet advisors debated inserting the Atom Age to fill the gap between the Golden Age and Silver Age, because somebody was saying, hey, this 4 color from 1954, it's not a Golden Age comic book. But if you go into a shop, okay, you go to a show and you say, hey, you got any Golden Age? They're going to steer you to anything pre 1956.
Yep.
They're going to lump that in as Golden Age. So like Action 1 is the unequivocal delineation mark for the beginning of the Golden Age, right? The end of the Golden Age. There are real purists who say World War II ended, the Golden Age ended. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What about, 1946, 47, 48? That's all Golden Age books. What are you smoking crack? I mean, that's, All-Star was still being published. When those DC titles started to tail off, when they were no longer doing that, except for the mainstays, Superman kept going, right? Wonder Woman kept going, but the anthologies started to die off. So one could say, yeah, maybe there should be an Atom Age. Let's make that, 1950, Superboy #1. Is there a book that we can say is the beginning of the Atom Age? 1948, no, 49, no, 50. So it gets real dicey. So I just say, look, you've got Golden Age, you got Platinum, Gold, Silver, Bronze, Modern. Okay. And the book that started the Silver Age of comics is unequivocally
Green Lantern 76, I thought for the longest time.
No, Silver Age. We're talking Silver Age.
I know, but even for that, like I remember back in the day.
The book that started the Silver Age.
FF1.
Showcase 4. Showcase 4.
Okay, Showcase 4. Okay.
June 1956.
Sorry. Yeah, Green
right?
Lantern 76 was the end of the Silver Age. Sorry, you're right. End of the Silver Age, right?
Yes, end of the Silver Age. Bronze Age for
Bill,
me.
if they did an Atom Age, when would that end?
It would end at the end, the beginning of the dawn of the Silver Age. So it would probably run 50 to 56.
Okay.
If you believe that Golden Age runs 38, to 50, let's say, then Atom Age, because the nuclear scare, the Red Scare, all that stuff. They started doing a lot of monster books, atom bomb type things, post-apocalyptic stories. They started to reflect the psyche of America in the 50s. We were worried about the big Red Scare. The Russians are going to nuke us. And comic books reflected that. Horror became the big thing in the 50s, right? Horror, sci-fi, Westerns kind of stayed the whole time. And so that ran, sure, Ishvan, to your point, the Marvel Silver Age begins with Fantastic Four #1.
Okay.
But that's 5 years later.
Yeah.
5 years later.
That's
you think about it, FF1, there's a lot of comic books. There was an argument for a while that Detective 225 should be the beginning of the Silver Age because it was the first introduction of a new superhero by the two major publishers, Marvel or DC, since the Golden Age, when Martian Manhunter appeared in Detective 225.
So here's another question. I hate that we call it Modern Age, as the Modern Age is time period that's not modern anymore, right?
It's true.
Modern age.
Well, there's copper now, right? There's bronze.
Copper's the 80s.
Let's talk about
Copper's
it. So bronze basically started with Green Lantern 76, that era, and moved to when
I've heard Green Lantern
70?
76 or the Kree Skrull War. Some people think that event is the kind that kicks off the Bronze Age.
Conan #1, guys. Come on, Conan #1. That's the book. It starts and stops with Conan #1 for the Bronze Age, and it goes all the way to 1979. 80 to 90 is copper. And then sadly, to your point, Brian, 90 forever
is modern.
You know, in 2065, it's still modern.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I see a lot of people talking in the chat that, you know, we have to figure out a distinction from, like, you know, I think that we need to start figuring out, you know, that modern ages ends at, you know, 2000 or whatever, 2000, and then 2000 to 2020, like that. We got 2 ages I think we need to put in there.
Possibly,
right? Yeah. So
well, tell me, I have the power to make that happen.
That's a great point.
We can suggest it to Bob Overstreet. Yeah. A whole new, it's time to come up. It's like adding a ring to the Stanley Cup, you know, every couple decades, you gotta.
Yep. And I think that's a great point.
Refresh.
I think that's something that maybe we should put our minds together here in this community and figure out, what should those ages be? What should they be called? You know, try to start thinking of those things, because
maybe when
the
last newsstand comic was published.
That's a great point. That's a great point. When was that? 2013,
Marvel or
Richie?
DC? Well, Marvel's last newsstands were into 2013 into 14, and then DC's was all the way up until 2016 to 2017.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe there you go. 2000. So 2015 on is you know, where you end that age right there. Whether that's the second age or the first age that we have to figure out for.
To be honest,
if there's
I've never found a newsstand comic outside of 2013. I'm thinking about it right now. So I think that's Marvel.
We got some recent moderns in, Ishvan. Remind us to check, because we got in some moderns recently from that one guy, and they were all newsstands. So it would be interesting to see where
Remember
that's.
Barnes and Noble was doing newsstands for a while.
And Borders.
Combo packs. Remember combo packs too? Those combo packs are modern age. I like to call them, or I used to call them, modern age newsstands, right? Same with the Walmart packs. You're right. Those are, I consider those like newsstands. But we have to figure out.
Let's ask the listeners. I mean, what, you know, we were able to say, you know, Action 1, right? Boom. Golden Age. You know, Detective 1 or Famous Funnies 1. Let's say Famous Funnies 1, platinum. Action 1, gold, right? Showcase 4, silver. Conan 1, bronze. So throw out some books, folks, that you think should be copper, like the most important book of an era that
Secret Wars 1
that you could pivot on.
Yeah, Secret Wars is in there.
That's a great copper point, right?
Yep. I think you have to throw in Ultimate Fallout 4 nowadays as something, right?
Well, no.
What about like Walking Dead 1?
Well,
that's a great one.
That's actually a good one. Yeah, but I mean,
if
you look at the overall texture of the book. So 92 starts the modern age. The book that always comes to mind is
Superman's Death.
It's ASM 361, that Bagley cover. That's like 91, 92 right there. That's like the start of modern to me. But then you go all the way up
McFarlane's Spider-Man #1.
You go
and Jim Lee's X-Men
#1.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The difference between those, all the way up until like the Century 1 and Inhumans 5. The 2000s. They were that glossy cover, but still they had the newspaper. Little thicker newspaper interior pages. We didn't get to the glossy cover, glossy pages until I think 2003. That's when I really say, okay, 2003, 2004. That's when we're starting to talk about. That's the modern age we're living in right now. That Marvel cheap cover cheap pages.
The wavy paper.
Right.
The wavy paper, yeah.
It's an inauspicious start to that age, based on shitty paper.
maybe because I press books or something like that, and I just have that kind of like sickness in my head. But I mean, at the same token, when I think of Ultimate Fallout 4, that was a start of a new era with Miles Morales, but that's more of like a historic character situation compared to a book. Because if you go 3 years before, you have ASM. What was the first Eddie Brock becomes Anti-Venom? That was 2008. And that was the same type of book, same cover, same pages.
I think this right here to me is the ultimate Copper Age start. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
It is absolutely, that is the big kahuna 84. There, baby.
Yeah, 84, 85, yep.
I mean, it's, the most valuable one of the age.
Mm-hmm. And then that maybe goes to like 2000 or, and then maybe from 2000 and up, we have to come up with 2 new ages. And I see that there's some names, sitcomics.net. I've never really been here, but I just found it. And they have some ideas calling one from 2000 to 2020, the plastic age, and 2020 to present, the pixel age. So... Yeah, I like that. I like the pixel age name because that kind of there's that big change when things started going more towards,
NFTs.
People. Yeah, NFT, not just NFTs, but online books, digital comics. A lot of artists now are doing all their drawing on iPads.
That's the key. That's the key right there. You know, it's not so much because I don't think the digital comic ever really took off, but the creation of comics digitally certainly is the standard now, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
You guys know Jacob Bear, right? I was talking to him.
Jacob Bear?
He's an artist here in town. He's a creator, writer, artist, and he's an inker. He inks a lot of Marat Michael stuff. And
here we go.
I was asking him to ink something for me, and he's like, I can't, not with a pen. I mean, he does everything on the computer.
Well, even McFarlane does now.
Digital age. Yeah, there you go. I like that better than Pixel. Pixie kind of makes me a little queasy.
Yeah.
Nervous.
So
the COVID
I
age.
think no COVID age, please.
No, we want to forget that.
Bring that up here tonight.
That will not happen. So that's a fun conversation, and I think that's actually, I think that's something that we need to think about more, and maybe it's something that we could start thinking about as a community to try and figure out a way to define what it is that and figure out what we need to define, right? I mean, what defines an age? Is it sales differences? Is it some big book that hits the market and changes the whole landscape, i.e. Ninja Turtles? Is it big event series started happening with Secret Wars, that changed comics for 2 decades, where there's nothing but event stuff. I mean, we have to figure that stuff out, and it'd be a lot of fun to do.
I think it's an amalgam of all those,
Yeah.
What about
cover? And then when they come into kind of a configuration in a 2 to 3 year span, then that's when we know an age has kind of shifted from one to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, books like Turtles, Judge Dredd, stuff Jakin was doing, Cerebus, the independent creator
Watchmen,
model, really is a huge push for why Copper Age had to be created, because heretofore, it was the big publishers only.
Well, let's think about it. I mean, you talked about how, what defines an age isn't just something that we can necessarily say is exact. The Silver Age kind of was defined, or the end of the Silver Age was kind of defined as like this, like you said, the Silver Age is defined as the shift of people kind of be, post-war age, scared, a little bit scared. that ended when you started getting like people starting to look at more social ideas, and social ideas started showing up in comics, i.e. Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil. And then that age ended when the independent stuff started hitting, and that totally changed comics. The independent stuff just changed everything. And then that next thing, you know, what was it? Was it you know, like we talked about, was it huge event books? Was it when the first variant happened? Was it
also think of the Copper Age was very toy driven too.
Yeah.
Especially looking back in hindsight, that was a very toy driven age.
Great point. That's a great point. Yeah. G.I. Joe, Secret Wars, the superpowers. Yeah.
Here's Born has a pretty good point as the prices go up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What about cover price?
Yeah, that's something else to look into. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Also, the creative teams you see from the silver to bronze, it's kind of the Stan Lee, Kirby Ditko to the Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway, you know.
I think,
and then in the Copper Age, it's other people. It's, you know, Jim Shooter and Alan Moore and Frank Miller.
I think Blue Green just hit it on the head. As soon as cinematics, i.e., either Iron Man or Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, that should be the beginning of a new age. Because when Guardians of the Galaxy hit, the speculation boom started. Everybody started going crazy, you know, looking. Okay, this is going to happen, so this book is going to be big. Mm-hmm. That's defined everything where we're at now. You know, to a big point.
Somebody was asking me that today. There was a guy in today, you know, mid-40s, whatever, you know, looking for something to invest in that could be fun. You know, I guess he's, you know, is tired of his, you know, mutual funds and his stocks or whatever. And he's like, you know, so I walked him through kind of what you said. You know, I was like, well, look, you know, if you want something that's going to be a short-term, you know, gain, medium-term, long-term, you can't go wrong, you know, with following what's happening in the movies. I mean, you know, Spider-Man's coming out right now. They're talking about Sinister Six. I can't tell you how many people come in wanting to buy, you know, books that feature characters from the Sinister Six. First appearances of them, great covers of them. You know, those books are, I sold a shit ton today, Ishti. I mean, man, I mean, today was great at the shop. People were in droves. I mean, I was selling stuff that we didn't think we could possibly move. The tall Batman, the 3-foot Batman's gone, Ishvan.
That's sold? Oh, man.
Yeah, the Predator statue that was in the box up there, gone. I mean, and just tons of back issues today and tons of new books today.
What do you think the reason for that is? Is that because of the Disney announcements, or is it something else? Why today? Why a big? Do you think that's just?
It's getting closer to the holidays, you know. You know, the Spider-Man movies, you know, getting a lot of play. You know, you go see Eternals or go see. There's the trailer. You can't avoid it. Hit you smack between the eyes. You know, and they start seeing, you know, Doc Ock, you know, and they hear, you know, Goblin's voice or laugh. You know, they're dropping all these things in there. I don't know if all of that's going to be materialized, but it doesn't matter if it is or not. If people think it is, price goes up.
Yep. Well, actually, we're going to get into that a little bit, and we'd love to have you around to stick around and talk about it. We're going to talk about the Disney stuff and some of the craziness that we're seeing. We're going to talk about a lot of books or a lot of characters or titles that I think we're going to be seeing some movement in. We all know we're going to be seeing some movement in over the Disney Plus announcement, but I kind of want to.
What was the announcement? Did I miss it?
Oh man,
it was Disney Plus Day. Yeah.
So I'm gonna find.
They dropped a Moon Knight teaser and a Miss Marvel teaser and I believe a She-Hulk teaser.
I announced a
Spider-Man. Nice. Yeah, She-Hulk's definitely will be going to be in high demand.
Especially not just that first run, but that Civil War run, right, where it really dug deep into the lawyer aspect of her, which is where they're going, right? All right, let me find Disney Plus, see everything announced. I'll try to find a good recap page. Let's do this.
Seems like they're also taking from the Dan Slott run, 2005.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Michael wants to know, does any of us think that Deadpool will be in the X-Men 97?
I hope so.
So what is that? So they announced an animated series titled X-Men 97.
Yeah, they're gonna. It sounds like they're.
And is it a continuation of the 90s X-Men series or something?
I don't know if it's necessarily a continuation or they're just going to use that style, that team, that.
As long as they use that theme song.
Oh, they have to.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's basically the best way to explain everything that got announced is just to show you this image, right? This is the main stuff that got announced, the X-Men 97 animated series that's coming. We're getting an Echo series, I believe, which is very interesting. Listen, that's another great.
So is this
character.
Echo as Phoenix?
I don't think it's Echo as Phoenix. I think we're going to get more along the lines of maybe origin story on her. I don't know. Who knows? But it's an Echo miniseries. They're going to do a Spider-Man freshman year animation that will be interesting. Some of the ones that I'm really interesting is the Agatha House of Harkness, which I think can be done just absolutely amazing. They could do like a horror anthology type series with it. They announced the Marvel Zombies standalone animation. We were all geeking out for maybe a Marvel Zombies live action, but that hasn't been, announced. But they did announce a standalone animation. They did a little trailer teaser for the She-Hulk series that we talked about.
There was like a fake trailer too that was going around as official.
Yeah, ton of fake trailers. They did a little Miss Marvel teaser, which it's interesting for. I know there's a lot of Miss Marvel fans in the spec community. There's a lot of Miss Marvel fans. Period. They wouldn't be making a movie after her, but it just didn't. It didn't really make me too excited what they showed, but it looks interesting. Yeah. The most interesting thing to me is
we might not necessarily be the target audience for that particular.
You're 100% right. 100% right. But the Moon Knight series is, to me, is going to be the winner of it all. I think the Moon Knight series is going to catapult Moon Knight to levels that all the people that use that stupid comic book trope of him being Marvel's Batman is just you're gonna look stupid saying that in the future. You know what I mean? It looks really, really good, and we'll get into that in a second. They're going to do a What If season 2, which I'm cool with.
I'm not sure I'm cool with it. But no.
Really, do you not like the animation?
Well, I just thought it was shitty.
Series,
the series sucked. I mean, the last 3 episodes were okay, but the first ones, I wanted to shoot myself in the face.
I agree. It was a mixed bag, but the Ultron episodes I thought.
The party awesome. Thor. I went through 2 televisions that evening. By kicking.
That was a dumb one. That was a dumb one. I thought the last 3, you're 100% right, were very good. The Marvel Zombie one was a hit. The Infinity Ultron stuff was a hit. I liked how they played off the Watcher. I think the Watchers, I love that character. But the I Am Groot series is going to be I think that's going to be in like an animated series too, but that's going to take place over him growing up from baby Groot up, which that's one of the reasons why I'm picking up a lot of those Groot books. I'm going to go start finding some of those first baby Groot books. And because
good luck finding the first appearance, though, right?
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I pulled out this one. I was talking about this one today. This is his first modern, this Supernaturals number 4. This is the first time he showed up in the the modern stuff. So, but anyways, the I Am Groot stuff will be like a series about him growing up in the spaceship that he's in the area that he's in space and all that kind of crazy stuff. The other thing that people are kind of geeking out about now are the Ironheart stuff, even though they didn't really show anything. It just kind of showed a image for it. And then I think the Secret Invasion stuff will be good. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. Yeah. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. They're sleeping on the Skrulls. I think people, it's funny. I think starting with like the modern age, people start just sleep on the Skrulls. They don't care about the Skrulls in the as soon as modern age happened, like Skrulls were, and before that, the Skrulls were one of the coolest things ever, right? But now people just don't care.
Super Skrull, that was badass.
Yeah, such a dope character. People just don't care.
Yeah.
And the Kree Skrull War was one of like the first really big events.
Huge, major deal. Probably. Like
how long have we been hearing? 20 years. that they were going to do something with Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
And they've been specking it. That book has gotten more and more expensive every year without any real good reason. Now I guess we have a good reason.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start with Moon Knight, because I think, like I said, that's the most exciting to me right now is the Moon Knight stuff. And I think that maybe let's talk about some of those key books that we should be, or series that we should be thinking about. I know some of them right now that I'm really into. Well, let's talk about what the Moon Knight series is going to be about, first of all. It's going to key in on his 4 personalities, right? The first 3 personalities that were part of Mark Spector's origin forever. The financier guy, the Tony Stark type guy, the street like cabbie type guy, and then the superhero. Well, now they've added on that like mid superhero character, Mr. Knight, which Warren Ellis, I believe, came up with. And so those 4 personalities were shown in the teaser, which is very cool, because I thought the Warren Ellis Moon Knight series was very good done. And who followed on with that? Was that Zdarsky that did that?
There's a Jeff Lemire series.
Lemire, sorry.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people consider perhaps to be the best Moon Knight run of them all.
Yes, you're 100%. I agree. It's up there. So what they showed is which I love a ton, is they showed that it's Oscar Isaac talking in 3 different types of voices, and the difference in how he, like, one's got a really deep English accent, one's like a gruff, the superhero is kind of like a gruff Batman type,
his Batman voice. Yeah.
The other one is kind of like a street New York level type guy. And that's because Mark Spector, or that person, has dissociative identity disorder, which basically he's got multiple personalities, and those personalities take over. But on top of that, the god of Khonshu is constantly in his head talking to him, right? So that's kind of how he's dealing with that. And so the series, what it looks like, it's going to talk about is the god. You're going to get the god aspect, right, of Khonshu, and explaining the whole Khonshu stuff and the elder gods a little bit, which they've already started doing with Chthon and the Darkhold book and everything in Scarlet Witch. You're getting this elder god talk, and then you're also getting the Egyptian stuff where it's Moon Knight versus the Sun King, and it's been confirmed that Ethan Hawke is playing that Sun King character. And we talked about this, Richie, the other night. That first Sun King book is a nice book to be looking at right now if you can find it in dollar bins. Which is, what book was that? That was.
Well, there's the
190.
190. 190 is the first appearance of his daughter, and then it's the first full cover appearance of the Sun King, because that his first appearance is actually it's in
188.
188.
He's in the background of the cover, right?
There's like a skyline in the back, and you see him on fire, but he's real small and he's like walking away. So I guess some people I guess the market doesn't really like that as a cover appearance, so they gravitated towards 190 as the first cover, and then go to find out, full guts of 190, you have Mark Spector's daughter.
Yeah. Well, I think that this run right here is worth keying in on. Get issues 188 to 190 if you can find them. That's written by Max Bemis, and Jason Burrows did the art, which is very interesting. But yeah, it does have a Kurt Cobain appearance, which is very interesting. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
But yeah,
like,
so let's see
someone commented, this is more confusing than Dune.
Well, I think that's a reason that the story is going to be good, because it is a little confusing, and
it's hard to describe Moon Knight in like one sentence,
Yes. Yeah. I think that but I because they're keying in on that Sun King character for this first series, those are the books that you're going to want to look at right now. Of course, you're also going to want to look. I mean, all those crazy variants, the Sienkiewicz variant. There's a ton of crazy, hard to find Moon Knight variants. Those are going to skyrocket. That first issue of that 6-issue first miniseries has gone up crazy. All those first, second, third appearances of Moon Knight have gone up. Just getting an unreachable area for 9.8s and
there's
high
the
grade.
Series called Mark Spector Moon Knight.
Yep. Which number 1 of that is starting to heat up now.
And not to mention, I mean, to add on to that, I mean, the late bronze and into the Copper Age, some of those Sienkiewicz covers are off the chain, dude.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even, I mean, full guts. There's no key inside of it, but I mean, you know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there are some bad covers too, but most of them are just like, wow, dude, trippy, like good work, like really good work.
You know, sorry guys, let me stop that.
I think one book people are sleeping on is the magazine size. I think it's a Marvel. What's it called, Bill? Marvel Premiere or something, which might be the first solo full issue.
Yep,
solo
it is the first. Yeah, story. I got 3 of those.
I think people are sleeping on that one.
Let me find that. That's a great book.
It's got a pretty cool cover too.
Yeah.
Is that the? Are you speaking of the Marvel Spotlight 28?
Spotlight.
No, that's
no,
not
the comic book, the magazine, the Marvel.
It's
preview.
a magazine size.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the Spotlight 28 is a pretty fun book. You know, that's a good one too.
It's affordable still. You know, if you're late in the game, I think that's one that has a profit margin left.
This one right here is
affordable
is
than the Werewolf by Night.
This one's worth looking into because they're gonna start. I mean, they're pushing that Midnight Sun stuff. We're gonna get into that more here in a second, but they're really gonna be pushing that Midnight Sun stuff. So a lot of these, we talked about this too. A lot of these first times that these characters have teamed up or met each other are gonna be some big issues or battled. Yeah. So this is the first time that Ghost Rider and Mark Spector met each other. This is that Mark Spector Moon Knight series. Issue 25. Be on the lookout for that one. Let me find that. The
Fist of Khonshu meets the Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, JJ's right. Marvel Preview.
Yeah, Marvel Preview. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I called it preview.
Guys, the preview, premiere, presents.
Yeah, here it
Marvel. It's that Marvel Preview number 2 has that sick Frank Castle cover.
Yeah. This one right here.
That's there it is. Yeah.
Number 21. That's a great book. Hard to find in high grade.
Never even seen that book.
Just in case
Never even seen it.
We have one at Fantastic Worlds Comic.
Please hold it for me, sir. Thank you.
Also, the
free copy.
Remember the Platt run on the end of Mark Spector Moon Knight that started with issue 55.
Remember those original art pages I had, Ishvan? That Platt Moon Knight pages that I had? You remember the issue where Spider-Man crossed over in that run?
There you go.
And I had some of those pages. I wish I would have never sold. Yeah, there it is.
Man.
I wish I'd have never sold those pages, man. I had this Platt, Moon Knight, and Spider-Man, like 3-panel half splash, just killer original.
These
art.
dark all black issue covers, especially the last one, number 60, is such a great book that is so underrated. You guys can pick it up super cheap. Find it in high grade. Super hard to find in high grade. Beautiful cover right here. And I think that, Platt's comic works are starting to catch a little heat right now. I mean, even some of his non-Moon Knight stuff is starting to sell. Some of the stuff he did at Awesome Entertainment when that first started. So be on the lookout for that stuff. But yeah, that's some. I also like that. What is the other one? The from the Finch run. The Bloody Hands cover. You remember that? It was like one of those first variants, that Bloody Hands variant. I'm trying to find that. Also, of course, all those Moon Knight, those original Moon Knight Sienkiewicz books. Be on the lookout for those. So yeah, a lot of good stuff with Moon Knight. We talked a little bit about how they're trying to bring together a lot of the Bronze Age stuff, right? I mean the not the Bronze Age, the horror copper stuff, right? You're going to start seeing those team ups. You know, I think Ghost Rider's going to be in there. We know Blade's going to be in there. We know Morbius they're going to bring Morbius over. Like all those Midnight Sun, Nightmare.
You got Moon Knight 21, his first Brother Voodoo meets Moon Knight. I think it's Moon Knight number 3. Daredevil meets or Battle meets Moon Knight. You have Spectacular Spider-Man 22, Spider-Man and Moon Knight first meeting. You know, a little outside of Midnight Suns. And then I also found one. I was looking for the first time Blade and Moon Knight. You remember we were talking about that? But I couldn't find it. I went into that Doctor Strange Damnation number 3, but I was like, and they had to meet before that, so I'm still digging into that. But I did find Moon Knight first meeting with Dracula, which I thought was really interesting. You know, but yeah.
Speaking of Blade, what did you guys think of the Blade cameo at the end of Eternals?
That's where I'm glad you brought that up, because that's exactly where we're moving, right? They're going to start bringing those horror-esque characters together. I think they've got 2 types of storylines that they're going to run into. One, the Midnight Sun storyline, and then 2, the MI13 stuff with Brian Braddock and the Excalibur story. And the reason that we talk about that, and a lot of people in the chat have been talking about it, that the MI13 run brings together Blade, the Black Knight, and Captain Britain. And I don't know if you guys know that Captain Britain was basically confirmed by Henry Cavill, that he's looking forward. I think he said in an interview that he's really looking forward to playing Brian Braddock, which is amazing. I'm super stoked for that. I'm a huge Brian Braddock, Captain Britain fan. So I think that is something to look into. Those Captain Britain books are going to fly off the shelves. That first appearance in U.S. comics is going to go crazy. Marvel Team Up 65, I think it is, something like that. That's going to go crazy. All those oversized UK books are going to go crazy again. But so we're going to get that. So there's 2 storylines that they're pushing towards, and that Blade stuff is going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the way that they're starting to play that is you have the Ebony Blade, right? That's Dane Whitman. Dane Whitman. Yeah. Dane Whitman's uses the Ebony Blade. You got the Excalibur, right? That's Captain Britain wields Excalibur. And then of course Blade, who's a sword dude, you know, he's all about swords. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You got the Werewolf by Night announcement. So they're also going to do the Werewolf by Night character, Jack. What is his name?
Jake Gomez.
Is it Jake Gomez, the new one?
Or Jack Russell. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to stereotype. So if you're going to cancel me. But I'm just going to be straight up. They hired a Latin guy, and to my recollection, Jack Russell is not Latin, but no. Jake Gomez is. So I mean, not that it matters, it doesn't. But I'm just saying. I mean, with a real Latin name, you know what I mean. So that's where I think a lot of people are kind of going towards Jake Gomez, and if it ends up being Jack Russell, who cares? Jake Gomez. Those books were $3.99. So, yeah. Well,
this is a book to keep an eye on right now, and this is Werewolf by Night 31, right? Which is their first, I guess you would call it their. It has a text teaser of their first appearance. So, and Werewolf by Night 32 is just out of reach for a lot of people. So,
but 33 isn't. But
and you're right,
and it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to next. This is not a tough book. I sold a really nice copy of this on Whatnot a few weeks ago for like $30, I think. But yeah, keep your eye out for the early Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night stuff. But here's something that I really love. You guys know me. I love the fanzines and stuff. keep your eye out for the Comic Reader, number 126. Anytime you see any of these comic readers or these fanzines from the 70s and 80s, take a look at them, because they could be something really special. Could be a first time the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in print, or this is for really early Moon Knight appearance, that type of stuff, or the first time an artist drew somebody. A lot of fun. I know a lot of people hate that, but I love that type of stuff. So just be on the lookout of that.
Oh, that Moon Knight 29 is a badass cover.
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking of Blade, if you guys watch What We Do in the Shadows, Wesley Snipes' Blade made a little cameo appearance recently.
Really?
Yeah, they're all looking at like all the different vampire hunters, and then one of them, boom, there he was.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that is cool.
But Snipes is going to be Dracula, right? He's not going to be Blade in the next film.
Yeah, in the Blade show, Snipes will now be the Tomb of Dracula version.
Really?
Dracula. Yeah.
Like as he was Blade and got turned into Tomb of Dracula?
Well, we don't know the storyline yet.
Yeah.
Well, that I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's going to do the Bela Lugosi, though. I want to bite your neck. That whole thing. He'll put his own spin on it, I guess.
Yeah. But another Moon Knight book that you should probably keep an eye on is this book. All right.
Tales of Astonish?
Yeah, baby.
Killmonger.
Yeah, baby.
Right?
Right.
Kelly.
That's my
Kill
baby.
baby.
My baby. My baby.
So
Killmonger's your baby?
This is
No.
where Killmonger becomes Black Panther.
Yeah, full reveal too. So issue 21, as I mentioned on the Hot 10 last night, we were on there, me and Brian. That is just a mention that he's just basically talking about it. If you go to the Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel, you can find a Modern Playbook Roundtable. It's actually titled Digging In with Dollar. And I actually did a 15-minute segment on these books. And this was 6-7 months ago. Long story, boring. This is the full appearance. He's in multiple panels, and in the last panel, full reveal and he's named Kill Panther. Now, the next book, he's on the cover, which is 23, Black Panther 23, but that's not the reading order. The reading order goes from 22, then it goes to Deadpool 44, Cat Trap. Okay, Black Panther 23 is Cat Trap 2. So you go to Deadpool 44, and that is your first cover appearance of Eric Killmonger as Black Panther. To this day, CGC still has that as Black Panther. But
well, the reason that we're bringing this up again is because another rumor came out that basically Shuri might not be our Black Panther coming up, and it could be in M'Baku. And if they're jumping around like this, and we all know how much a beloved character that Michael B. Jordan Killmonger is, so much so that people are just, begging for him to come back and reprise that role. I don't think it's a very far off thing to see in the future. Do I think it's you have a better chance of it happening over like a T'Challa offspring? No, but it's still a nice book to have, and people have just fallen in love with that Killmonger character. But the M'Baku stuff has really blew up because of this rumor that's going around that he's gonna be the Black Panther and at the end of Black Panther 2. And that first appearance of M'Baku up just crazy. It was the number 1 book on the Hot 10 this week, which is Avengers 64. Was it 64, 62?
62, I think.
62. Yeah. So I know this is a bummer for all you guys, for all of us that put money into Shuri, but I really think they're going to do anything they can to get rid of that. I mean, they've already pushed.
Is there a human being on Earth? Is there a human being on Earth in Hollywood? Okay, that has smaller arms than the actress that plays Shuri?
T-Rex.
Maybe, yeah.
I agree with the comment that Killmonger should be, he died. They can bring him back. It's very easy. He was such a popular character. The actor is super popular.
Yeah, death.
That just seems a logical thing, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Michael B. Jordan is Black Panther. I don't see what's wrong with that.
I agree.
Well, he's got to stop being a bad guy first.
Yeah. Well,
swear off murder, robbery, and all that.
Nice
stuff.
Character arc. Yep.
Yeah.
Swear off global
that's
terrorism.
A hero's journey. Yep. Hero's journey. For that money, I would have taken.
Brian, you should show Bill the Frazetta books you got that you showed us.
Oh,
earlier. Bill, check these out.
Good old Frank.
So these are old school ones. This is Barnyard Comics number 13.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
Barnyard's Comics number 14.
Those are funny, actually. Those are pretty funny.
Yeah, funny animal books. So yeah, early Frazetta stuff. And guess what, guys? I wouldn't have known about these without my Overstreet.
You would have never known.
No, never. So
I got to meet Frank twice, actually.
Oh, let's hear about that. Definitely want to hear about that.
So the first time, and if you guys know, next week from today, Saturday, the 20th of November, we have a comic show in Scottsdale, in Old Town Scottsdale, 11 to 4 at the VFW Lodge down there. And this will be the third one, so it'll be a lot of fun.
No, Legion Post.
Legion Post, yeah. Sorry, I do that every single time.
Legion Post 44, Scottsdale.
There you go, Legion 44. That should be easy to remember, right? I'm up we did that Overstreet conference, and then part of what Steve did, if he wanted to, he was busing us all from Baltimore, Maryland, into New York City, and they were having a Christie's auction. And that's back when Christie's and Sotheby's both still auctioned off comic books and comic book art. And at this particular Christie's auction, they were featuring quite a bit of Frazetta original material. So Frank was in attendance. And, we all got to go and we spent some time looking at the books and the art we wanted to bid on. It's pretty exciting. You're raising your paddle and watching, in your wallet, if you win, is going to be empty. And so we're getting ready to leave, and Frazetta was there watching his stuff sell. Now, I wanted to meet the guy. I mean, he's a legend. He's the artist. All artists from the Bronze Age, Silver Age, Golden Age, were inspired by him. And he was inspired by, Milt Caniff and Alex Raymond and Hal Foster. So I walk over to him and I'm like, hey, Mr. Frazetta, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm with Jamie Graham is standing next to me. And I had my catalog, showed pictures of his art and stuff. And I said, "Well, you think I can get an autograph?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I've been sick because he'd had a stroke. He didn't say that, but I knew he had." And I was like, "Yeah, I get it now." He's like, I said, "Well, how about if Jamie bends over and becomes a table for you? Because we're just standing there." So Jamie Graham bends over at the waist, and I put my catalog on there. And Frank Frazetta takes this green marker, fine point marker, and slowly but surely draws out what you see right there on that famous funnies, the Frazetta, that famous signature, and he wrote it down there for me, and I thanked him. And Jamie said, "Can I get one?" He said, "Not a chance," and out he went. And so a couple of years later, I'm at San Diego, about 2 years later, and my good friend was Shelley Moldoff, the great Golden Age comic book artist of DC, their primary cover artist for the entirety of the Golden Age. And he's a friend of mine. And we're walking back from lunch or something. We're heading to the convention center past one of the hotels, and there's Frazetta. And this is in the 90s, wasn't like it is now. Comic-Con was big then, but it was tiny compared to it is now. So people were very accessible. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Frank Frazetta." And he kind of rolls like, "Oh, this asshole again," And I'm like, no, time out. I don't want an autograph. There's somebody I want you to meet. And so I said, "Frank, this is Shelley Moldoff, Frank Frazetta." And to watch those two for the next 5 minutes, Frank gushing about Shelley gushing about Frank was so classic. And, he was in Frank because he could be an asshole, what I understand. He could be a really gruff guy. But he was so nice and so complimentary to Shelley, who was, 90 years old at the time. It made my heart warm. And the rest of the weekend, Shelley told that story to everybody who would listen about how he met Frank Frazetta, that I introduced them, and that Frank Frazetta said he was one of his influences. Now that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go let my dog out.
Who let the dog out? Oh, sorry.
He's really going
Brian,
to wipe the
Brian.
tears away. Brian got a little emotional during that story.
I think that it says,
I need to soil myself, I think.
I remember it was a while ago that they were talking about Norman Reedus playing Ghost Rider. I haven't heard anything about that in a long time.
Dead? Is that who that is? Is he a Walking Dead actor?
Yes.
Stringy hair.
Yep. What was that? End of 2018 into 2019? I remember.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
But I haven't heard much from it since then.
You know, it's funny, not to change the subject, but go back into that M'Baku stuff. I mean, how much do we really believe Giant Frickin' Robot, right? I mean, they've put out some good stuff, and they've also rehashed We Got This Covered rumors. You know, I've caught them.
Yeah.
But according to multiple sources, what Brian was saying, they like this M'Baku for Black Panther. I just haven't heard anybody from Marvel, you know, come out and say it. So I don't know.
These days, I don't believe it till
Well,
see it on the
he
screen.
emerged to be heroic, didn't he?
Well, I'll tell you, I was going back and forth with Charles Murphy on Twitter about Killmonger being Black Panther. This is like 4 or 5 months ago ish, and got along with the guy, but gotten along with the guy for 3 years. You know, just social media interaction, whatever. Guy blocked me. I mean, he didn't like anything I had to say. I mean, he was debating me, and I could feel the tension in his tweets, and I was like, whoa, you know. But he's basically saying, oh, there's no way that Killmonger can be Black Panther. He killed Wakandans. And I said, well, first of all, it was during battle. Well, what about, you know, so-and-so's, you know? And I was like, well, he ratted his dad out, and then T'Chaka killed his
has he ever read Shakespeare?
And tried to cover it up. So, I mean, it was all valid, you know, so I don't know. And then I think they could pull it off because who's the director of Black Panther right now? Ryan Coogler, right?
Coogler,
so he said to somebody in an interview, well, I believe he didn't say he was dead, but he said, I believe that he is dead. So realistically, first of all, Killmonger was royalty, right? He had the ring, the elders.
He was the cousin. Yeah.
Right. First cousin.
So he's in line. He's definitely in line for the throne.
So if he passes away, you would think they would have had some kind of send-off. Even though he was a shitty person, some kind of royal, you know what I mean? Some kind of like, they never confirmed the guy died. The guy just
refresh my memory. What is the last moment we actually see him in the movie? Isn't he like in the waterfall kind of thing, or do we actually see?
They're with it's T'Challa and him, and they're outside the vibranium train area, and they're on a cliff, and they're watching the sunset.
Okay, and he kind of dies in his arms.
Right, and he's
okay.
He's like, he did say, T'Challa does say to him, you know, I could get you help, you know, and he's like, no, you did say this was beautiful, or, you know, something like that. And then he's like, you know, whatever. But there was never really any confirmation of him. I mean, shit, he could have just lost blood and passed out right there. And then the next scene, Shuri comes in with her technology and fixes them up.
Maybe they buried Killmonger with all that kind of magic red powder dust stuff, and
they
resurrects him, you know,
like the shit from Dune. Yeah. What's that stuff called? Shimmer.
Yeah.
Right? No.
I don't know. I fell asleep.
The melange.
I love Dune. I thought Dune was really
Kyle, how did you fall asleep during that?
I fell asleep like 3 times, and
this is why you need to see this movie in theaters, because it's you have to get like fully immersed in it. Watching it at home with distractions, nodding off, crap.
I saw it at home ish, and I loved it. So, and the thing is that, you know, when I was a kid, I couldn't get through the original until I was a little older, until I was like in middle school, and then I could, you know, I understood. But then when this one came out, I was really excited, and it did start off a little bit slow, but then it started getting really good. I thought it was really good.
I like both. I still love the original. I thought, you know, and this is equally just as good. It's good stuff.
But yeah, going back to the Black Panther, I mean, they never really confirmed. I mean, the screenwriter or script writer or the screenplay, whatever you want to call it, they never really confirmed the guy's dead. We all thought, we all think he's dead, but realistically, if you think about it, they could totally pull it off.
Well, it is a comic book movie, so really, you can write anything, you know.
And remember what the Kang variant said at the end of Loki. And that's just very important for the next 3 phases coming in the MCU. Once, what's her name, Lady Loki, Sylvie, killed him, or stabbed him, he said, you know, because the multiverse was open and it was, you know, crashing down, he said, anything and everything is now on the table. And I think that was the most important line of that whole series for the future of what the MCU is doing. Anything and everything is on the table.
Yep.
So meaning, you know, anything out of continuity in the what if books, in the what if shows, or in Earth 1610, the Ultimate Universe where Miles is or from or whatever, all that stuff can come to.
So
and they can pull it off.
One of the characters that everybody's going crazy now, based on those end credit scenes, of course, is Pip the Troll. Pip the Troll, along with Eros, who we got that end credit scene in Eternals. 179, Strange Tales 179's first appearance of Pip the Troll, but he didn't meet Adam Warlock until, when was that, Richie?
I don't know about Adam Warlock, but I believe
Eros, yeah.
First meeting, and this is a shout out. This is not my spec. This is shout out to Lords of the Long Box, Tim. I've already secured my copies, and he has too. So we'll go ahead and let this go. So first meeting with Eros is in Warlock 12. Also, you have the origin of Pip the Troll. Also, you have a freaking awesome cover of Pip the Troll.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? Just chilling there
with
no
Gamora
shirt on. Yeah. You know. So, you know, I think this is a cool book. I mean, right now, my comic shop is stocked with copies. And, you know, they're not consignment copies. They're their own grades. My comic shop is a pretty good. They undergrade, in my opinion. Some Fine Plus finds for like $8-9. You can go grab a couple. It's a decent spec. There's also Mark Jewelers. Or no, there is not Mark Jewelers. There is not. I take that back. There's a foreign. But yeah, I think this is a fun
Pence
one.
version, right?
Yeah, Pence version. This is a fun one. And thank you, Lords of the Long Box, Timbo. He's a friend of mine. He lives down in Irvine. And he gave me that book.
It says here in Warlock number 12, Pip exits a cabaret after indirectly starting a brawl there. He meets a woman named Heater Delight. Completely infatuated with her, he tells her his story, which is his origin tale. He was once known as Prince Gofern and is in 260th in line for the Laxidasia's throne, which is that's a long wait to be a king, and it's a good thing he had a hobby to pass his time. He explains to Heater that he used to draw starscapes, portraits of the night sky. During one of those nights, he partied with the trolls. The trolls are seen as less than by the other Laxidarians, but Pip didn't care. He woke up the next morning to find out that the ale he drank had transformed him into a troll. Pip tried to hide his transformation, but failed tremendously and was subsequently exiled from the kingdom. He is subsequently disappointed. He is then disappointed when he finds out that Heater only has eyes for Star Fox and whisks her away. Anger doesn't even begin to describe how Pip feels. So there you go. There's that first appearance of Eros.
He tried to hide it, huh? So he's walking around in a loincloth. He's 3 feet tall. He's got big pointy ears. He's not doing a good job of hiding his trollness.
No, he's not.
The chat doesn't seem too excited about specking on Pip the Troll.
I think Pip the Troll is a great.
Well, here, look what I got. I just pulled this out of my box. 9.6.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, let me give you my address off screen, okay? But
I mean, it's actually modern. It's still a pretty cheap book to buy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. And Brian and I were talking about this multiple times. A lot of people we've heard in the community, content and comic community, believe Pip the Troll could be a one and done, or won't have a very long lifespan. But he's got a long, I guess you could say, history with Star Fox Eros, and I think
Cosmic.
that. And he's
I'll tell you what, he's no Rocket
going.
Raccoon or Groot, though. Come on, let's be real.
Well,
here.
Rocket Raccoon's days are numbered. He's going to be killed off after the Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
That is a bummer. Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, well, get the rabbit.
The other character, of course, is Eros that everybody's going crazy about. That those Eros appearances were flying for a while. Of course, that Avengers 232. Everybody, already knows about Iron Man 55. That's such a tough book to get, but I think
Marvel 27,
but still affordable.
Yeah, it is. It is affordable, and that's crazy to me. As a matter of fact, I think that was one of the crazy books that I remember in Baltimore. Doc Joe was out trying to find a really nice copy of it, and you can't really find them very often. It was hard to find a nice copy of that decent raw copy at the con, but he got a nice one for, I think he's paid like $600 for it or something like that. Which, you're right, is affordable for a major key like that. Thanos, Drax, Eros, three huge, and the Blood Brothers, right? Who cares about the Blood Brothers now? Back then, those were the main characters. They put them on the cover, but so yeah, it's a great book that I'm glad I bought from Kyle when he needed car parts. So,
man, find me when I need car parts, man, and you got a good deal on your hands.
Hey,
Brian, did you need car parts when you sold me those Spider-Mans a few weeks ago?
Yep.
Brian, do we have any Pip the Troll variants recently? Have we seen anything like that?
I don't know.
It might be something.
Hey, you know what's? Here's a cool side note. Just thinking about the films and how much that has drawn much younger generation into being intrigued about comic books, right? So the theme for today, as it relates to at the shop, to youngsters, 8, 9-year-old boys and girls, they were in with their parents today, or their parent or grandparent was in today, looking to give them a starter collection. And so they were buying. This was what was cool about it. He's like, yeah, I want some older stuff, $50, $60 books, stuff like that. I want some of the newer ones. I want things that are targeted for very young, like Batman Adventures, what are the other ones? The Marvel action,
IDW,
Spider-Man, but they also wanted, like regular Amazing Spider-Man, and they wanted Deadpool, so that, and I'm thinking Deadpool 8, okay, hey, this is your money, your kid, but these, that's a big thing for us at the shop. People say, oh, I've been listening to idiots predict the doom of comic books for 50 years. 50 years. Okay. I've been hearing the same shit. And it's not happening. Because now I've got 8-year-olds coming in my store with their parents, buying back issues and new comics. So there's another 50 years of collecting that's being born today.
Mm-hmm. There'll be some like 9, 10-year-olds who come in and just rattle off some comic book knowledge, and wow, I'm impressed. That's this kid knows his stuff.
Yeah. And the movies and the TV shows is what drew him in.
Yeah, definitely.
Why we got to keep it going.
3-year-old. There's a 3-year-old in here today, and he was walking with his dad, and he would say the character. He's 3 years old. He's like, Batman, Deadpool. He knew these characters, and Dad would buy, the comic for the kid.
Rob says, is anyone here really excited about Eros? And I agree. I am a little bit because I love Cosmic. I think it's a great character. But, you asked that question, and that's the same question that could have been asked in 2008 or whenever Guardians came out. Does anybody really care about Star-Lord? Does anybody really care about Gamora? Does anybody really care about this? When they put them on the big screen and they put a major actor or person playing that role, it's instant. People are going to care about
it. If it's
and
done
when you
well.
add Harry Styles, Harry Styles is already, kids already love that guy. There's a huge, group of people in their 20s and early 30s that just love that dude.
I'll be that guy. Who is Harry Styles? I keep hearing this name.
Are you serious?
I should know who that is.
The boy band that what's his name? Simon signed.
He's in One Direction.
One Direction. And then he went on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, he had some issues when he was younger, but he ended up getting through it. He's actually a pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a big like pop star.
Huge pop star, one of the biggest in the world.
The world, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get off my lawn or anything, but
I mean, these guys.
I'm pretty sure Harry Styles is in Glendale right now.
Really?
Singing.
What? Oh,
he's in concert here tonight.
He's in concert here right now.
Shit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my niece is there right now.
That's funny.
I know One Direction. They were selling out football stadiums here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wow.
And I mean, the only people that were doing that were like U2 and Neil Diamond.
My daughter won't admit it now, but she loved One Direction when she was little. But
and who is Harry Styles playing?
Glendale, Arizona.
He's Star Fox.
Oh, so that was the guy that was Star Fox the other night. Okay.
So here's the Star Fox stuff. This is his first appearance in Iron Man 55. It's a little cameo right here. This is Eros and Thanos in Iron Man 55. They say, oh, this is just a cameo appearance in Iron Man 55. Well, so is Thanos. Thanos is the same. It's just a 2-panel appearance, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you get to Captain Marvel 27, where this is it. It's kind of changed a little bit. He's got a little bit more defined to the character he is now. And that is his first full appearance, they're calling it. And then of course 232 is where he becomes an Avenger and becomes Star Fox, the name Star Fox. So
Chad Cave has a different opinion about Harry Styles.
What does he say? Oh, Chad Cave is a character, man. We love Chad around here. How'd that go for Joker? What do you mean? Didn't you hear? I think I read today that there was a ton of, or not a ton, but somebody who was talking today about how great the Joker, the River Phoenix Joker is, and that movie made a shit ton of money. A shit ton of money.
Joaquin Phoenix. I was like, wait, River Phoenix Joker. What?
What did I say? River Phoenix? Yeah, Joaquin. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that made $800 million worldwide.
Yeah,
that's as good as any big major movie. Like that was.
That's blockbuster territory. 800 million blockbuster territory is fine, right?
Beyond blockbuster territory.
Eternals have only made 70 million? I think
170 million, I think, right now worldwide.
Yeah.
And Joaquin
about 90 million domestic.
Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar award for Best Actor, and that was against the Irishman with De Niro and there were some serious movies in that year. So
he was talking about Jared Leto playing the Joker.
Oh, Leto, yeah. But think about that though. To your point, so 2 best actors, have gone to the Joker.
And they cut.
Who would have even thought?
Well, actually, 3. Two best supporting actors and 1 best actor.
Nicholson, yeah.
Not Nicholson.
Yeah, that's true. 3 Oscars. I mean, we would have never thought that.
Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, both
won.
Oscar winners, and Joaquin Phoenix. Well, and then Nicholson.
And wasn't there just some news for the new Batman? There's going to be another Joker in that.
Well,
I just heard it the other day.
Here's the thing about Leto's Joker that I just want to remind everybody. I know we talk about Jared Leto on the show a lot, and Kyle's love affair for him. But I'll say this.
I like it too.
I'll say this. They cut 60 minutes or 50-something minutes of a Joker Harley out of the Suicide Squad movie, and I bet you if that stuff was in there, it would change everybody's mind on that character, man.
I'd like to see it too.
Yep. So I don't know, man. I think Jared Leto's a badass. I think he gets I think he gets a really
Have you guys
hard
seen him in the trailer for that new Ridley Scott movie, House of Gucci?
Yeah, it looks.
You would not. He looks absolutely unrecognizable. It's nuts.
And so does what's her name? She looks like she's doing a good job acting. You know,
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Yeah.
So Leto's going to be Morbius, right? Leto's Morbius.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor that got leaked the other day. Was it Richie that you were talking about?
Yeah,
this?
I read it verbatim. The director of Morbius, I forgot his name, Gabriel, whatever. He spilled the beans. He said in an interview with Verge that
wrong JJ.
That what's his name, Eddie Brock, was on set of Morbius, and
Tom Hardy.
He's like, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy was on set of Morbius, and he's like, I shouldn't have let that out. So long story short, the Sony was trying to get them to pull it, and they didn't pull it. So if you do a
they were
deep
talking
dive,
about that in the shop today. They were talking about Hardy today in the shop in that context.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, nobody, in my opinion, has gotten anywhere close to what Ledger did with the character. Could that happen in the future? Yeah, of course. I mean, you're going to have somebody that just knocks the role outside the park. But that role that Heath Ledger pulled off, I mean, was it
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I like all the Jokers. I think they all bring something different to the table. You know,
and I think this is why
Batman 66 has that laugh that's just absolutely bonkers.
And this is why I think Jared Leto got the short end of the Joker stick. Is nobody liked the way he looked, so it was on him as an automatic shut off.
Shut it down.
Nope.
He looked terrifying.
I thought he looked badass, dude. I'll be honest. I thought he looked cool. Yeah. For the time period at the time, I thought it looked really good. They just tanked that movie as soon as they saw Deadpool. You know, DC decided, let's tank this movie. Let's make it fun and exciting and really good music behind it, like Deadpool. It was like, get the hell out of here. Anyways, all right. Some of the other stuff from Disney Week. Did you guys see the little thing with Warwick Davis about the new Willow movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, we're gonna get a copyright strike for it, but I don't care. I gotta show you guys this. This is really funny. All right.
Copyright strike.
Yeah. They'll take our
so
whatever
strict about what we show. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever money we make on this, they will take. Let me find this here.
I've seen a few Jared Leto Jokers here in Phoenix.
Yeah, it's silly. All right, here we go. Let me stop screen and then share with audio.
Move it, Peck.
All right, this shit is so funny. All right, so what time period is this? We're at 1:47 in. Let me start this right in 3, 4, 5, 6. Now.
Hello. Yes, it's me, world-famous actor Warwick Davis. I'm thrilled to be coming to you from the set of the brand new sequel series to my most popular role, Willow. Yeah, we heard you die-hard Willow fans. The Willow Mongers, the Willing Me Softlies, the Low Boys. You get the idea. We're still workshopping fan-based names for that. Anyway, they've asked me to introduce you to the phenomenal cast, or supporting cast, that will be joining me on a brand new adventure. Well, let's go meet them. Okay, so we'll start with this handsome young fella who is, all right, don't touch. Oh. Tell me your name.
Dempsey.
No, your first name.
Dempsey is my first name. Brick is my last name.
Oh. Good luck with that. So, Arma, what does it feel like to be carrying the torch for a whole new generation of fans who may not remember the movie?
There's a movie?
Yeah, Willow.
Who's in it?
Me. Directed by Ron Howard.
Ron Howard?
Oh, yeah. Ron Howard.
From Arrested Development.
Oh, that's good.
Is he narrating this?
He isn't. Now, Ellie Bamber, tell us about the first time you saw Willow in the cinemas. A lovely anecdote, this.
Oh, I wasn't born. Wait, so what are they going to do with your face for this?
What do you mean, my face?
quite a bit older now. Are they going to like Irishman your face with computers?
No, Ellie, they're
or
not
what?
going to Irishman my face. Some time has passed since the first movie, and a huge part of this story is how good Willow looks for his age. Keep up, Ellie. Read the new pages. I'm professional. Look at this guy. So you may recognize him.
I'm Tony.
Yeah, he's done some, what have you done? Student films, Insta stories, TikToks and the like, yeah?
Yeah. I just want to say I'm also a huge fan. My dad and I actually watched Willow back in the day when I was a kid, and I grew up loving it, man. It was great. You know, my second favorite fantasy adventure.
Cool.
Behind Lord of the Rings.
You got to stop there after Willow was great.
Oh.
I'm Ruby Cruz.
Ruby Cruz.
Yeah.
Wow, Ruby Cruz. That's a hell of a stage name. You getting that, Dempsey?
Yeah.
Now I know you, don't I?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm Erin. I was in Solo with you.
No, that's actually the one Star Wars movie I haven't seen.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
But it's great to have you back for this one.
You know this isn't Star Wars though, right?
So there you have it. The young or younger supporting cast of the brand new Willow series coming next year to Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a series, huh? Not a movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Willow was the first movie I ever saw in a theater, like by myself, where I was like dropped off and I went in, I watched it, fucking loved it, still love it to this day.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Willow?
So
You've
good.
never
What?
seen Willow? Oh my god.
It might be a tough sell if you watch it now with having
What are you talking about? It's got
zero
Val Kilmer
nostalgia
in it.
for it, but
Val Kilmer is
yeah.
a badass in
it
that.
is a great
man.
movie.
Mad Mardigan, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
You
evil
gotta
general
watch it
with
now,
the
Bill.
skull with the Skeletor mask.
oh
I
such a
always
great
loved that as a
mask.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, top one. Great. You need to go watch that. Yeah, Val Kilmer is amazing in that movie. Val Kilmer's amazing in everything. Have you guys seen that Val Kilmer documentary? Where it follows him like on the last days of his life and stuff. It is really freaking good.
Val
Really
Kilmer's
good.
dead?
Sounds really sad. I'm
He's not
kind of
dead.
avoiding
He's
it.
alive.
No, Val
Well,
Kilmer
why
died.
did
Didn't
he's
he?
dying though?
Yeah,
Isn't it about him dying?
I just said they followed him on
Oh,
his
he is
last
dying.
days.
Val Kilmer died.
No,
Didn't
he didn't.
No.
die.
When?
Oh,
No, not he has
is
not died
dying.
yet.
He is dying.
It's
Yeah.
on Prime, right? It's
Yeah.
on Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to watch that.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's really funny. There's a part in there where he plays a trick on I forget who it was, if it was like a maid or somebody, and he fell, and you feel really bad for him, like, oh shit, he just fell, like he's not doing good, he fell, and he just fucks with the guy. He's like, I'm just playing with you.
Why?
Is there any
Why is he
rumors of
sick?
him appearing in Willow? Coming back?
I don't know. He's got cancer. He's
Oh,
got
Throat cancer.
Throat cancer. Yeah.
Well, it says Val Kilmer on surviving throat cancer.
Wow. Yeah, I thought he'd be dead by now after watching that.
As
Seriously,
Sinister Titan
man, he
points
does not
out,
look
it's
good in
James Bond that died.
Yeah, it's James Bond that died.
Did he get the throat cancer the way they said? What's his name? Michael Douglas got it.
Oh, cervical from
Via Cunnilingus.
yeah, Cunnilingus. Shout out to Jason Klein with a $10 super chat. He says, first off, great show as always, and here's to offset any hits the channel takes because it was so worth watching. That.
That's $10 for Willow.
Nice.
Klein. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, he
I got to do it on demand, then I guess.
JJ says he's in remission, so that's good news. That's positive.
Oh, that is good. Yeah.
I'll have to watch it tonight then when I bail out here in a minute. I'll pull it down on demand so that I can commiserate with you guys and say, oh man, Willow. So when did it come out? Is it the 80s, I'm guessing?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
87, 88, I think.
Yeah.
After Star Wars, after Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
1986.
Yeah. Really good movie. I want to remind everybody again about the show you guys got coming up next weekend, right? You're going to do?
Yes, sir.
And this is the
Dude,
last
also
one
known-
you did.
Unknown amongst some people is Old Man Con.
Yeah. Old
Dude,
Man
does he
Con.
sound like fucking
Not Bill's favorite name of the show, but
No, I think it was Howard that called it that. Is that right?
Howard, yeah.
Shout out
from
to
Greg's
James Lynn.
Comics.
$10 says he'll match Jason. Appreciate that, James.
Thank you,
So there's
James.
going to be Harley Yee's Rare Comics will be there. Terry O'Neill's Comics, Graham Cracker Comics, Seller Comics, Heroes Comics, locally Fantastic
Champion.
Worlds.
Yeah.
Greg's
Jake
Comics.
Justice. Jake Justice will be there.
And did you guys? And is there now going to be a CGC submission opportunity?
Yes, there will be a CGC submission opportunity on hand.
Oh, nice!
Unlock the Golden Age and Silver Age and Bronze Age. No cosplay, no movie stars. You know, nothing like that, man. Just an old
beef
school
jerky.
Well, there might
Here
be
you go.
some beer.
Let's thank James another time because he goes, oops, I just sent 20. Oh, well. James, thank you. You have extra karma in your karma bucket. Continue that positive karma. Well, hopefully you find $300 walking.
$5 to get in, but they give you a ticket. And if you go to any of the dealers in the room, that $5 is good towards a purchase.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
I like
This
that.
is next Saturday
you get in
in
free.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. Definitely going to come and try to spend some money. We'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
I think it's going to be very
It's hard
not
for
to
Brian
spend
to spend money.
It's going to be very hard for me to spend money there. Yeah. So
I remember with the last show, Solo Wookie showed up and bought a stack of wonderful like quarter bin fodder. It was like he was like carrying it out like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my favorite stuff. The stuff that you can find in 50-cent and dollar bins and $2 bins. Ooh. Lots of fun.
No, the last one was a lot of fun.
Justin wants to know: is there going to be a place to nap and a buffet?
Yes,
I took 2 naps there.
There's a full bar.
Legion
You
Post
can get
44
food.
Full ball kitchen. Yep.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn cool.
It is cool. So
Bill,
you go
are
in
you
there,
taking
shop
your
for an hour or two?
Are you taking your art
And then-
pages?
I am bringing some original art, just in case you guys are interested.
Yeah.
Is this the same VFW that you guys have done it before?
Well, it's American Legion Post.
American Legion. Yeah.
Correct me because I screw it up every time.
Foreign Legion Post.
Yeah, there it is. American Legion, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Very good.
Oh, it's gonna
So
be
there
fun.
you go. Everybody in Arizona, go check it out. If you're close, it's worth driving to see. Trust me.
Plenty
Lot
free
of,
parking. You know, so there's street parking. There's a couple of lots free. So you know,
Cool part of Scottsdale too. A lot of great restaurants.
A lot of great restaurants and a lot of the beautiful people walking around in very little clothing. So
God bless America.
God bless it. All right, peace, love, dope, guys. I'm out. I'm going to go watch Willow.
Bill, before you leave, we got to give a little Star Trek. Because what's happening next week?
Star Trek?
Star Trek Discovery.
The 18th, season 4 of Discovery. I mean, I am sporting wood. I am so excited about that show. I love it.
Ted Paul.
That is a
Here we
great show.
Heroes Reborn says, I'll contribute more than $5 to see something raunchier than Willow.
How about for Bill's Star Trek Discovery wood?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
That's worth at least a fin. Yeah, you guys excited about Discovery, or are you guys like, you know,
Star Trek's for nerds?
I'm the only person on the show, Bill, who reps the Star Trek here. Kyle pretends to.
Up until last week, the words "star" and "trek" were banned from the chat. So
ridiculous, ridiculous.
It's the greatest.
I've been watching Lower Decks. That shit is hilarious. I love that show.
I can't go there. He knows I can't go there. I mean, the hypocrisy only goes so far. But I love Star Trek and all of it. And Discovery is fantastic. It's one of the best TV shows I've ever seen.
Well, then we'll have to check it out.
There
If
you
somebody
go,
says
guys.
it's the best TV
Paramount
show he's ever
Plus.
seen. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, what do you mean? Do I have to go sign up for it?
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus only.
Pass.
Or you can get it on, Blu-ray or something.
Or you can find it somewhere.
Don't steal Star Trek.
Yeah,
The Roddenberrys need the money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Paramount needs
all right,
that.
boys.
Star
I'm
Trek
out.
Thanks, Bill.
So
You
you
guys have
can
a
watch
great weekend.
Willow if you have Disney Plus.
There you go.
I do. I have Disney
There you go.
Plus.
Then you can watch Willow. Have fun.
That's what I'm going to go do.
Willow.
I'm going to go watch Willow and have a THC gummy. See you guys.
Ooh.
Later, Bill.
You and me
Thanks,
both.
Bill.
Bye.
Later. Bill's a great dude. I like him even more that he's taking THC gummies. All right, you guys.
I'm
What
gonna
else
watch
do we?
Willow tonight too. Fuck yeah!
Yeah, dude. When's the last time you seen that movie, man?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Stuff.
When I was a kid, I fucking loved Willow.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a great movie.
You know, it's before we got Lord of the Rings. It's like that's almost all we had was Willow, or or you could like go like Beastmaster or some real cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
But Willow, I don't know if you guys remember, Willow was actually a big bomb when it came out. It's a very expensive movie. Those ILM special effects at that time were state of the art.
Who's got the Willow comics?
It was a big marketing campaign, and the movie I think finished like not even in the top 20 of the box office that year. So it was a huge.
The budget
bomb.
was $35 million.
So now it took almost 30 years that we finally get some more Willow stuff because it took a whole generation of fans to grow up and say, yes, we will spend money on Willow.
It grossed 137 million worldwide.
Wow.
In 1988.
Yeah, Legend with Tom Cruise was a great one too. Even though JJ says it made no sense to him at the time, that Legend movie was really badass, man. When I was a kid, I thought that
Legend was cool.
The devil character was so
Dark Crystal too. Chad mentions that.
I want that big, huge statue of the devil character from Legend, the Tim Curry character, man. It's such a great, the Darkness. Is that what he's called? He's called Darkness, yeah. Yeah, great fucking character. Great design. All right, so you Star Wars fans, there was a couple things. I saw that they're doing a backstory or a little documentary on Boba Fett and how he came to be and, everything with that. That's pretty cool. I think that's already out, right? Is that already out on Disney Plus?
What, just about how he was cloned and stuff?
Yeah. No. The story of like behind the scenes, them creating him, how he got so big and, that type of shit. It's called Under the Hood or Under the Helmet or something like that.
Oh, like a making of.
Yeah.
Making of the movie, not the making of the
the character.
Within the fictional storyline.
Making of the character.
So it's not about how Django or how Boba is Django's clone.
Yeah, it's like how
Fett.
George Lucas came up with and Jeremy Bullock and all that bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, that's already out. Time Bandits was a fucking great one too.
Yeah,
holy shit. Yeah. So that was cool, the Boba Fett one. There was also a really cool Beatles thing that looked really interesting.
The Peter Jackson one.
Yeah, the Peter Jackson thing, and they show it's called Get Back, I think, and they show them.
How many of these vaults are they going to open up and magically find all these hours of footage nobody's ever seen? When it feels like we've seen everything the Beatles ever could put out. Now all of a sudden there's these missing archives. So convenient.
I love it, man. It's so cool to see them creating songs. Like they literally, the little preview they show of the trailer of the thing, it's them creating a song. You know what I mean? Just right there. And watching them, you can see them looking at each other playing and all that fun stuff. I would love to throw that up too, but that'll get us. We'll have to cut that one out also.
Figure drawing mentioned Buckaroo Banzai. Check this out, guys. Hold on.
I remember Buckaroo Banzai.
Joseph's right, man.
80s were a good time. Yes, they were the best. Best time to grow up as a kid. Oh, nice.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
So they finally released the sequel to Buckaroo Banzai, and all we can get is in a novel form.
Oh.
But it's from the original screenwriter who wrote it. And the full title is Buckaroo Banzai Against the World Crime League, A Compendium of Evils. And it's written by the Reno Kid, so the Jeff Goldblum character.
Yeah.
That's in cool. Fiction, wrote this book. I'm pretty excited for anyone who cares about Buckaroo Banzai. All two of us.
Yeah, that's cool. Aaron E says, I tried out for a band today. What? Like
yeah,
that.
Right?
Good for him, man. Good for him. Always nice to get out there and fucking jam.
I miss doing that.
Well, your kid's learning how to do that, right? How's that going?
Good, man. I like it because it's funny. He'll be there and he'll be playing songs for my wife, and he'd be like, "Guess who?" And I just start screaming the words to the song that he's, to whatever like chorus or whatever like riff that he's playing. That's supposed to be like, it's usually the catchiest one, so that you can get it. And I just start screaming out the lyrics. It's fun. I was watching something. And I like, because I keep getting them out. Well, I'll play drums. He'll play guitar or bass, whichever one he wants to do. And then I watched this video of this dude playing, and there's this old guy playing drums with him. And I was like, fuck, man. Looks like that dude's dad. And I was like, oh, fuck, I can't bring you down. No, it'd be fun.
Do you play?
Yeah.
Huh? What do you play?
I play drums and bass.
Double bass?
I can, yes.
I
play bass guitar and I play drums.
Nice.
I can play double bass.
What kind of axe you banging? What kind of bass you playing?
I don't even have one anymore. I do have a drum set over there though.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
My son just got a 5-string.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I play that low B.
Down to some Korn, some Black Sabbath, stoner rock, bro. Strings are flapping.
Tune down to A, man. I'm gonna put on my Puma jumpsuit.
B flat, man. Sound like that dude Fieldy from Korn.
Fuck that guy. Get rid of that guy.
He's in rehab right now. He's not even playing.
He's been in rehab like 20 times.
He shouldn't be playing.
I know.
Sounds like somebody's farting every time he hits a string.
I think he's good.
He probably is good, but he needs to fucking tune his bass a little bit more.
I like the sound. Every time when I was playing, I was always trying to get. After I saw them play at this place called Viva Las Vegas, it was like the day before their first album. Are you ready? That album came out. It was the day before, and they were going on tour with a bunch of hardcore bands. And we were watching this place called Viva Las Vegas, very small, probably about half the size of I don't even know. I can't even think, but it probably like maybe at the most 1,000 square feet, maybe 1,500 square feet. And long story short, man, we were all making fun of these guys, and they used to be this band called LAPD from Bakersfield, and blah 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 blah. And when we saw them play, we were like, and we were about to leave for tour within 2 weeks. Like we were in a 2-week timetable. That's all we listened to on tour was that because the Korn album came out the next day, was that Korn album, Life Agony, and Agnostic Front, and a bunch of New York hardcore bands. But yeah, I like
the only thing that to me that Fieldy ever did that was amazing is how he jammed on stage. The way he jammed on stage was really badass, and a lot of people, I remember when they came out and they saw how Fieldy got down on stage, they tried to copy him. But I think that Fieldy jammed that way on stage because he fucking played so shitty. He could just fucking hit any string.
He's not a very intricate bass player. He's not. It doesn't take much to fucking play a Korn bass line.
Nope. That's what it sounds like, a Korn bass line.
What the heck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I could play Guitar Hero on hard difficulty. Yeah. So, yeah, good stuff. All right. One thing I do want to do. Well, actually, let me see here.
Cliff Burton and that guy can play.
Dude, my son, he got this amp. It's fucking pretty cool. So it links to his phone, right? And inside the phone, he can find these settings, and he's like, and people input them into this app, and then it comes out onto the amp, and he found Cliff Burton's bass sound.
Oh wow!
So now when he when he's playing the Cliff Burton solos and stuff, he's got that. So it's pretty cool when he's doing it because it makes it's got that cool fucking sound that Cliff Burton had.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
Well, speaking of butt rock, and 80s bullshit, I want to take a quick minute to show everybody something they've probably already seen before if they've seen the shows in the last week.
I was wondering, Jay.
But my homie Keith has till the 27th of this month to raise money for his new film, and I'm going to show it to you guys.
My name's Keith Obed. I'm the writer-director of The Sound Guy.
My name is Justin Bird. I am actually the assistant director.
Hi, I'm Scott Levesque. I'm director of photography on The Sound Guy.
My name is Cliff. I play Cliff in The Sound Guy.
My name's Rich Formey. I play the character Mo.
We are a group of actors, musicians, and filmmakers coming together and joining forces to make the best damn stoner comedy we possibly can.
I really couldn't believe it, actually. I thought this must be a joke. This couldn't be a real project that's happening. Because I'm a sound guy in my real life. There couldn't be a role more right for me. And then after working with Keith, I've found even more so that the character just feels written for me somehow, even though Keith and I don't know each other prior to this project.
This is an Arizona film, all Arizona actors and crew. Music is originally scored by Arizona artists.
Where we are now, halfway through production, it's the thing I live for most on film sets, is being able to see something from concept to completion. To be able to have a crazy idea and be able to fight nature to capture that moment in time, and basically in a place that doesn't exist. It takes a lot of effort, time, and money. And that's where you can come in.
We're doing a four-day block of shooting in here in December, and where we're doing a concert scene in here. Bobby Buttrock, the 80s god of Buttrock, is going to be in here doing a show, so this place is going to be crawling with 80s broads.
The thing that sucks about making films is it requires a lot of money. There's all kinds of moving parts that come together to make one cohesive piece of art. The best way that you can help is by financially backing the project. And by doing so,
you can get rewards, such as a shout out on social media.
A poster signed by cast and crew.
Get a spot as an extra in the scene in here that we're shooting.
An invite to the premiere, or even an executive producer's credit.
$1,000 donation will get you an executive producer credit, so You'll be not only helping out a really cool local Arizona project get off the ground, but you'll also be credited as like you're some kind of a badass that's really involved with stuff. So
we strongly believe in this project, and once we are done, it's going to double as first a pilot, which will be pitched to all the major networks, and also a short film, which can be presented in all the film festivals in 2022.
Almost like, I don't have children, but it's like having a child and seeing it grow, So it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the crew.
My favorite fart
I just did that.
Of the filming process was smelling this guy's farts.
No prop guns over here.
Yeah, no prop.
Is that really bad to talk about?
So make sure you guys go check it out. I dropped the link below. The link will also be in the description. Like they said, no prop guns. No prop guns.
No Alec Baldwin.
That's good.
Yeah. It's getting crazier and crazier as we go. So also for anybody out there who's fans of the band Pelvic Meatloaf, it's funny, Kyle, I've been playing that on some of the other shows, and I had somebody comment, "Holy shit, man, that's Rich from Pelvic Meatloaf." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Fucking A." Make sure you guys go check out Pelvic Meatloaf. All right. Let's see here. Anything else? You guys read any comics over the week?
I did.
What'd you check out?
So I checked out, and I highly recommend, it's called The Dark Knights of Steel. This is the Joshua Middleton variant. And I was kind of excited to see it because I like the concept. So it's the DC world in medieval times. And in the first issue, Jor-El and his wife, they escape the destruction of Krypton with her pregnant. They land on medieval Earth and are kind of, obviously, they're kind of seen as gods. At the time, the Waynes are the king and queen. Of what kingdom, I'm not sure. It's kind of pretty vague. But Bruce and Martha are the king and queen. And skip forward 20 years, Jor-El and his wife are now king and queen. The Waynes are dead. And Batman is now called the Bat Prince, and he keeps referring to himself as the Bastard Prince. And then we find out where Jor-El, it was kind of at the end, a neat little twist where Jor-El's like, you are the Bastard Prince because you're the spawn of myself and Martha Wayne. Jor-El is saying that.
Wow.
And that's how the issue ends. So it's like, holy crap.
Well,
so on top of setting that I was looking forward to, which is medieval DC stuff, quite a twist to the story with
cool
Batman
cover.
Now half brothers with Superman.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a cool cover. Very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I recommend it. I can't wait to keep reading it. And this is by Tom Taylor with art by Yasmin Putri, and very interesting start. Very auspicious start.
Such a good artist.
Wow, look at this cover. Holy shit. That's badass. Wow, man.
Kyle, I pulled that one for you because it's Middleton.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, that one's awesome. Middleton. Very cool. I like it. Read anything else?
The other book I read was The Thing, #1.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. I'm a big Thing fan. I don't know if people realize like how big the Thing was back in the day. Like he was such a huge character.
I bet.
In fact, we really wouldn't have Hulk today if Hulk didn't show up fighting the Thing, which got people reinterested in the Hulk again.
Mm-hmm.
It was really those appearances fighting the Thing.
Why did they not come out with an all-white background variant to this? Because the ones I've been seeing just have the trade dress. Did they do one like this that's all white in the background?
I only have the cover A and B. I didn't see the other covers.
I wonder if that's an exclusive.
I don't know.
That could be a ratio variant.
Maybe. No, I don't think so. I mean, you might be right. It could be a 1 in 100, but all I know is the only incentives that I saw was the Parisian or Parisian or however you pronounce that 1 in 25 with the tiger and him fighting, which is okay. It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not the best. It's actually a really good cover, but that freaking Liber Hemo is so good. It makes this thing look like it should be just a cover B open order.
Yeah,
they messed up on that. But
I actually like this.
But are you looking at League of Comic Geeks? Yeah. So usually they have all the covers, and sometimes a lot of times they have the retailer exclusives in there. So I wonder if one retailer did catch like a 500 or 700 print run with that all white in the back. I'm gonna have to search for that.
Yeah. Well, I remember this when they first previewed this book. It was with the all white background.
Yeah,
I remember. We geeked out over it.
And cover A is really good too. I like cover A too.
Yeah.
But there's two first appearances.
What is interesting about
first appearances in it.
Yeah, and what is interesting about this comic is it's written by Walter Mosley. I don't know if people know who that is. He's a famous novelist, and I believe he's never written a comic book before. And he's known for writing the Easy Rawlins mystery novels. One of them is Lady in a Blue Dress, which is kind of a well-known Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I read an interview with him and his approach, and he's an older guy. I think he's like in his 60s or 70s now, and he says, growing up as a black kid in the ghetto, the Thing to him represented. He felt a real connection with the Thing, with Ben Grimm, and in his mind, the Thing was always black. And in this book, so this is his take on it, and it's a setup story. So I'm really curious in issue #2 where it goes. But he has this. I have no idea what his take, and at least in the comic book, because he's mixing the Thing with some like this supernatural wraith character, and I don't know. It's very intriguing. but it's also very unusual, especially for a Thing. It's not a typical Thing story, so I'm not quite
Did
sure.
you
what
say
to make
Wraith
of it
is
yet.
in it?
Yeah, Wraith.
Yeah, it's like Wraith
No
character-ish.
shit.
But not
Yeah.
like the Wraith from Annihilation.
The art is very good. It's got a very neat, like, European clear line style to some of it.
I don't think it's the Wraith from Annihilation, right?
It's not?
No, here I hope this shows up. There's actually a really cool double splash page.
Oh, is that a Celestial?
Yeah. So it's setting up all sorts of things that I quite don't know how it's all piecing together, but
I'm gonna read that tonight.
it's kind of interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for all my books. I can't wait. Oh, this was a good week. And then, Brian, did you make a slide for the Miss Minutes cover to show?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That Miss Minutes cover. Did you see any of those this week?
So I think that comes out next week.
Is it next
or
week?
the week after.
Yeah, it was FOC was this week, right? For the Miss Minutes one.
Yeah, and she's going to be on an open to order cover. You can show, if you have the slide, you can show it. And who knows, could be a cameo inside too. Cover cameo. Hey.
When's it supposed to come out? Next week?
No, it's supposed to come out in a couple weeks. It's in the timeless, whatever the timeless #1 is. It's one of the covers.
I think it's December.
December, yeah.
Yeah,
December
there's going to be
1st?
like 18,000 different covers.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it on here.
There's
But
a
I mean, a lot of
Gleason one
people
that actually looks real badass.
A lot of people were looking for Miss Minutes or a parody of Miss Minutes in, those lore comic books and where the TVA shows up, the She-Hulk comic books and the slot run and so on and so forth. Nobody could find anything, so she hasn't really been in the comics until this. There it is.
They have
It's a
Funko
great cover
Pop
too.
now.
It's a really
Did they make her a Funko Pop? That's great.
It's the Renslayer Funko Pop. It's her and Miss Minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Patrick M just said that his parents owned a video store until he was 18. That is freaking awesome, man. That is so cool.
Including the Wraith. It is the Charlie Sheen Wraith that's in the Thing book. That's confirmed.
No. There's also some really good covers coming out for that new Elektra black, white, and red, right?
What do those look like?
Oh, they're beautiful. Let me find them. Black, white, and blood.
Sinister Titan, the FOC for the Electros right now this weekend.
There's that.
Yeah, the
one.
Electra's supposed to be crazy. Some crazy covers on there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Let me see if I can find some more.
I really like that Marvel did this black, white, and blood.
Yeah, this one right here is sick. Look at that.
Negative Space. Is that Odd?
Hughes.
Yep.
Hughes killing it.
Wow. Holy, that is Hughes. Wow.
I found a ton of Hughes stuff over the weekend going through books, man. I found so many Hughes books. I'm hoping that he catches fire even more here soon. I mean, people need to be collecting his stuff all the time, right?
Well, he's killing it on the Black Widow run.
Oh, yeah.
He's really stepped up.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Is that Hughes one open order?
No, I don't think so. I think it's like a ratio, but I couldn't be sure.
I think it's a 1 in 25. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who
the
was the
side
artist
does
for
look
the
a little weird.
Yeah.
Ramos is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Humberto Ramos can actually draw something good.
I know.
I like Ramos.
I like Ramos too, about 50% of the time.
His silk cover is pretty cool.
He's just too angular sometimes.
What's
Yeah.
Oh, the Hughes
Like
is
it
an
looks-
A cover? Wow. Oh, the Sienkiewicz is a 1 in 25. Okay. All right. Yeah, we should
like
know
the
that
way
stuff,
it's
shouldn't
like
we?
it's like
Well,
wonky
then,
looking the way he draws it.
all the the Wolverine, the Deadpool, these limited series, they all have a 1 in 25. So I mean, looking at that cover, it should have been the 1 in 25. But I'm sure the 1 in 25 is probably killer too, though.
Well, we're supposed to get a Spider-Man trailer soon. We're supposed to get an Obi-Wan trailer soon, right? So next week we should even have more fun stuff to talk about, more spec stuff to talk about.
Did anyone check out the book regarding Oswald's body by Boom?
Yes,
I ordered some of those. I ordered some. I'm excited.
I kind of like the 1 in 25, and it was just kind of the version of just this. Made me think of The Exorcist for some reason.
I got the one also, the cover where the guy's like sitting on the back of the truck or whatever.
Yeah, that's the cover B.
Okay.
So it's like, it was interesting, but it's like, are they purposely just riffing on Department of Truth?
Right.
Because we have two books now that are conspiracy theory driven books about Lee Harvey Oswald and ostensibly not being dead. So I don't know, just interesting that's, a customer pointed that out. Like, what the hell's with Lee Harvey Oswald? Why is he in two like big books right now?
Why not?
Why not?
Read the tea leaves, baby.
It was pretty good. I like the art, and it's just kind of a setup story, but so it's one of those where I'm real curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to read that. It's hard for me to get on to read all.
There needs to be a
tinfoil
tinfoil cover. That's funny.
It's hard for me to get on the what's that site? Read all comics for free or whatever, and I want the books in my hands. You know what I mean? I just love to crack it open. I don't know. That's just me.
Richie, check this out, man. So the other night we were talking on the Hot 10 about that new character that people are going crazy for, the Ezekiel Stain character.
Okay. That's the Armor War character, or the Order number 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So check out what
like
I
Stain
found.
as in Obadiah Stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cover appearance I was telling you about, where he's bald-headed and he's with the girl. Yeah.
So
that's his first cover on the right with him in his suit, and then that's him without his suit first cover.
Yep. So I found a bunch
of Brian.
Yeah.
I can't believe you. Nice, bro.
Yeah. I got a bunch of those Invincible. Yeah, man. Like I said, we all have those. We all have those boxes that we just haven't gotten to in a long time, right? And that's what I hit the other night. And I mean, I'll show you some of the stuff I found that I didn't like. These aren't new pickups, but I found a ton of World War Hulk stuff, like a shit ton, man. Like every tie-in. People are. What about this cover? You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Love that cover, man. Found the Claws series. How about this one? So a lot of people remember the who was the guy, who was the famous European artist Milo Manera, right? And he did that that famous Spider Woman painting, right? Or Spider Woman cover. You guys remember that? The Milo Manera Spider Woman cover that they let me see here. With Milo Manera, is that how you say it?
Milo Rombaldi.
Okay, here it is. All right, so this is the original. This is he got just totally destroyed for this cover, right?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Well, do you guys know where that came? Like this comes from another book, and I don't think a lot of people realize it, but I think that it's like a homage to that, right? Doesn't it look pretty similar?
pretty close.
It looks
This
less
is Neil
penis-y,
Adams.
but yeah.
This is Neil Adams. Neil Adams did this series Samurai, and I picked that up a long time ago. But this is kind of cool. This is that same series, but it's signed by Neil Adams. Found some of the Youngblood stuff. I found a bunch of this is funny. People are gonna laugh. Darkhawk stuff. Shit still
Nice.
sells. Yeah. Red Sonja stuff.
I like Darkhawk.
How about this one? Check out this.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. Wow.
Next
These
wave.
are all in your boxes? At your
Yeah.
house?
Yeah, here's all the claw stuff.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Here you go. Next wave. Next wave.
Is Elsa Bloodstone in this?
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Here you go.
Wow. Good for you. Oh, the banger.
Yeah, so it was nice to find that type of stuff, but finding that weird stuff is what I love, you know. But it just blew me away that Zeke Stain. Yeah.
He said, "You find the Youngblood stuff in the trash."
I found some Youngblood stuff. I did find some Youngblood stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But anyways, all right. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, it was kind of medium or bigger size news throughout the week about Diamond. I don't know if you guys are following that. They had a big ransomware attack over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
It was more than just Diamond. It was the entire Geppy family enterprises. All their subsidiaries were attacked. It was a pretty big deal. And I guess, you know, for the consequences, for instance, you know, for us going on the website, there's a ton of shit missing. Doing the FOCs, I couldn't look at, you know, most of the covers I couldn't view. So when you're doing something like Timeless #1, and it's got all these fucking covers and they don't show anything, and it's like, do I have hours to be doing all my research on every single cover, or I'm just going to pass on some stuff and maybe just go, okay, a Momoko we can bank on, or Gleason. It makes it tough. And then they announced there's going to be delays, and basically they said the shipment for next week's releases for Wednesday are just going to, and this is all they said, arrive throughout the week. So I don't know what that means, but, you know, of course, there's been a bunch of shipping delays. Now you add on this big ransomware attack. It's a shit show.
I couldn't get on my pull box for like 48 hours, like 2 or 3
pull
days.
box was down. Yep.
Yeah.
So with the ransomware attack, did they actually pay it then?
We don't know. I don't know.
I mean, they wouldn't call it ransomware unless they did, right?
Their notifications, like during the crisis, was emails being sent out from like this third party tech crisis company.
Okay.
So they couldn't even send emails from, you know, diamond.com.
Yeah.
So pretty big deal.
I mean, I assume it would be they would have been asking for a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah. And of course, there's all the internet rumors. You know, it was Penguin Random House. It was this company, that company. You know, it's angry podcasts that, you know, they want the comics industry to implode, so all their predictions come true.
Maybe it's Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull. Okay.
Isn't Geppy like rumored to be a big mafioso?
I've never heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Exactly.
Don't start that.
Exactly.
I've never heard that. And that being said, we'll see you guys.
I left the iron on. I gotta go.
I need to go find a new place to stay and a new name. And
speaking of crypto, Bitcoin hit an all-time record.
My
again.
name is Brian.
I think almost 69,000. Ethereum too hit an all-time record.
Yeah, crypto is crazy. I got something actually that's kind of funny about that. One of the cool things, let's see here, that I found, and I think I talked about this on Drunken Chat a little bit last night. So for, you know, we do the market report on the flip side on Mondays, And on usually, if you guys see me on Drunken Chat, I'll usually spend some of that time finding, stuff to drop in the market report on Mondays. And I found this, and this is very interesting. This is from 2011 New Yorker magazine. I think this might be the first time they ever mentioned Bitcoin. I'm not sure, but
no way.
Yeah, and it sold for $345.
That is hilarious. Wow.
Yeah. Absolute Geek says that. What is that? 1.5 million Dogecoin? What does that mean? Like you got 1.5
for the
million?
Ransomware.
He's trading NFTs with Marco.
Oh, he's trading NFTs with Marco. Yeah.
That's their side hustle.
Yeah, Marco doesn't mess with what the young kids are into. He just gives it to his kids to play with. So it's not even in good condition, and it sold for $345 first bid. So I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see.
People goes to show people will collect anything.
Yeah.
Addiction.
Speaking.
You muted yourself, Brian.
Did you just censor yourself?
Yeah,
I think so.
Marco and crew, make sure to check them out. They are doing Star Wars now on Renovision. You can find them there every. Did it just do that? Did I just lose it again?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Check out Dark Side tomorrow on Renovision.
There you go. That being said, anything else? I'm gonna call it a night, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, dude. I'm so worn out.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got. I think I might be going to a Cardinals game tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
You're gonna watch them play the Panthers?
Is that who are they playing?
The Panthers.
Oh, interesting.
Is there any rumors on Larry Fitzgerald? Maybe coming out.
No, he's not coming back.
He's playing for a 91 card. He's done. The dream still lives inside.
I agree, man. If they get to the playoffs, just sign them. Let them be part
Colt
of the team.
McCoy will be quarterback tomorrow, and I doubt Hopkins is playing also.
His real name is Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
and
Texas Texas. He went to the Longhorns,
that's his
right?
real name.
Yeah, he went to Texas. And
yeah,
then,
he was the quarterback after Chris Sims, I believe.
Chase Edmonds went on IR today, and
what the fuck does that mean?
Hopkins is on the wrong side of 50-50 to play tomorrow.
Rondale
Moore is not playing tomorrow. I mean, it's not official, but it doesn't look like he is. And AJ Green just got off the COVID list, and he's got to pass some stupid hoop thing tomorrow. So it's going to be James Conner.
Yeah, they're not. Are they playing the Panthers or are they playing the Texans?
Playing the Panthers.
Okay.
Texans are on bye.
That's why I'm not worried because they destroyed who they played last week.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, defense is just crazy, and that's without JJ Watt playing.
Didn't they play the 49ers?
They destroyed the Niners last week with all those players being out.
Damn, I'm dropping football knowledge.
And then the Panthers
touchdown Kyle
are just terrible. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
And the Leafs have won 8 of their last 9. Go Leafs, go!
Speaking of,
Kings go Kings.
Hey, Kings are Kings fans have a lot to look forward to. You guys have a really good young team.
This is why I love the King. I mean, I grew up around the Forum. My dad
Wayne Gretzky.
No, I was a Marcel Dion. Dude, we sucked before Gretzky.
Dude, that's old school. Marcel Dion.
When he came, I mean, Gretzky was in his prime, just at the peak. So, it was just we got to see the very last of the good Gretzky. But long story short, it's here's the thing about a Kings fan is, a Kings fan's loyal when you're still a Kings fan, you don't make the playoffs for freaking 10 years straight, 9, 10 years straight.
Fuck
you know what
Kings.
I mean? Yeah, fuck the Coyotes and the Rangers.
I'm not a Coyotes fan. Hold on.
Hey, I'm a Coyotes fan. I got to live with we're 1.
The Rangers are a bunch of fucking New York prima donnas.
Well, here's what I will say.
Mike Ricker.
stand the Kings, and I can't stand the Flyers. But this year, I will root for the Flyers because of the two of my favorite players, of course, Jelly, Keith Yandel, big Keith Yandel fan, and I'm a big Hayes fan. I love Kevin Hayes, and of course, he lost his brother at the beginning of this year. Really sad story with that. So it's very hard for me to root for the Flyers because I just hate the fucking Flyers. But I am the
best mascot in sports. Come on.
I'm going to definitely root for them this year. If you guys know the story, was it Kevin's brother Keith Hayes? I think. What was
Jimmy
his name?
Hayes.
Jimmy Hayes. Sorry, Jimmy Hayes. If you know the story about Jimmy Hayes, and you should look into it. It's a really sad story. But Kevin Hayes, his brother, I root for him. Former Ranger, of course. Keith Yandel, former Ranger and Yote. This is a really cool moment. This is why I love hockey. I love seeing stuff like this. Yeah.
And Yandel's got that crazy Iron Man streak.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, tonight, Phil Kessel of the Coyotes got third all time in Iron Man streaks.
Wow.
Phil Kessel, former Maple Leaf, former USA Hockey fucking stud. That guy's good.
So shout out to anybody that's fans of Jelly and Hayes.
Kings have some really good young players, and somebody was just mentioning Shane Doan. You can.
He's still with the Coyotes.
Is he? Fuck that guy.
What?
Fuck you.
Fuck
One of the most
you.
respected.
Fuck you.
Mike
Shane.
Bunch
Get the
of
fuck
cheap
out of here.
hacks.
What are you talking about? You guys got Dustin Brown on your team. How you can call anybody a
that's the
chief
dirtiest
hack?
player of the last 10 years.
Brad Marchand and Dustin Brown are the two dirtiest players in the last.
But at least
20
Brad
years.
Marchand can score and play hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, first off,
Big time.
Dustin Brown is
And
dirty
looks like a
now
rat.
because he's older and
He
he's
was dirty
slower.
then.
He was always
No,
dirty.
that
He was
hit on
not
Radim
dirty in his
Verbata.
prime.
Dude, that hit on
dude-
Radim Verbata.
Okay, first off, how could you say Dustin Brown was dirty in his prime when he led the league in hits for I don't know how many seasons and wasn't even the top 10 in penalty minutes? He was not a dirty player.
I'll give you this. If he was on my team, I'd be saying the same thing, Richie.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys. You hate him.
And
unless he's
listen,
on your
and
team.
here's
I'll
the
give you
thing.
that.
I know you're not being serious because we all know that Shane Doan is one of the most respected players to ever play the game across the board on every team.
He's one of the great
Respects-
gentlemen of sports.
Yeah, and one of the greatest captains to ever play the game. And his son got drafted by the Yotes and is playing for the Sun Devils. So make sure to go check him out.
I played the Sun Devils and I played juniors.
Oh yeah, no shit. They were a club team back then. You probably played against their coach, who was their goalie in '95 on the club team. So yeah, cool stuff. All right. We will see you guys next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to check out the Sound Guy series Kickstarter. And that being said,
check out Dark Side tomorrow. Renovision.
There you go. Adios.
Star Trek news.
Watch more Star Trek.